Squeaky chair.
See, that one would have been okay. Indeed. Welcome, David.
We've been back about it.
Yeah, once a week.
What kind of decades are we?
It's gonna be a sad day when that we're back goes too.
Alrighty. Well, welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a nice week in between last week and today. Hope you all had just a great week. And good to be back, isn't it? Back in the saddle, and it's Maui vodka tonight, so this is going to just go swimmingly.
Oh,
And here I've
thi-
got,
this is-
and here I've actually got beer.
Oh,
this
good.
is going to be a fascinating evening for you, Sai.
I believe.
Because all the menu options, either because of the density of and how condensed the stupid is, or just the sheer length of the videos,
Mhm.
you're gonna be a hurtin' pug.
I believe that's the case. All right. Well,
Don't drink on every drink call, Si.
well, we'll see what happens. All right. Well, let's get rid of the preliminaries first, so we can just get moving here.
I got some housekeeping.
Well, we're going to be doing that, and we usually do that first up. So we will be doing housekeeping, and before anybody says anything, yes, I'll put the screen up. It's like
Come on, Si.
I've tried to
You
get.
know you like it.
I've tried to get away with just doing housekeeping without doing the screen, but I don't seem to be able
It's
to do
not
that.
the
So.
same. You can't do house creep.
Understand?
So,
It's
who
not
wants to
believable.
go first?
Or house creeping.
Did that too. All right. So, now for housekeeping. All right. First of which, if anyone is not blinded and can still see,
I'm envious
I'm
of
waiting
your
for
face.
someone. I'm waiting for someone to try.
whoop, we are now in the housekeeping section and the show. And let's see. All right, just a couple of things for me anyway. New video came out today. Eric Murphy speaking at the ARC protest that we attended. And if you want to, he does a podcast, of course. You can find out all about that at the theatheistpodcast.com, all one word. And tomorrow there'll be the last piece of that, which is the wisdom of Noah Lugeons of the Scathing Atheist.
Yay!
And that'll be out tomorrow. And last item, finally, I believe we have a new friend in chat, Claudia from progressivecampaign.blogspot.com. There she is. Say hi, Claudia.
Good
Hello.
evening,
Hi,
Sam.
Claudia.
Good evening, Claudia.
Claudia.
And welcome. and before the show starts, we'll say we're sorry.
No, we're not.
You'll see why if you stay around.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
For the uninitiated, we are sorry. But for those who are repeat customers, You only
still
have
sorry.
yourself to blame.
Pretty much, you know what's coming. All right. Oh God, there's nudity already. There's nudity in the public chat. I'll have to rectify that a bit. Two.
There's a whole lot of that all the
He's naked.
All right, let's fix this. This is just unacceptable behavior. Running around without a spanner.
3.
And
Who's Scrat the Skeptic Squirrel?
and Claudia. Yeah, here we go. And Claudia, here's your spanner.
I
And
need to
Amy's.
close poor Claudia.
There we go.
Who's echoing?
It's you.
And for the second week in a row,
Have
How
we-
is my sound, gang?
Very good. Have we established the source of echo?
How is my sound, gang?
Looks like Diana.
What dear? Am I causing a problem here?
The source of echo. I
I
think.
think you may be.
Yeah, it's not me.
Don't look over here.
Okay, it seems to be gone. Who just muted?
Diana.
Oh, okay. All right, Diana.
So it must be me.
Yes, maybe you have a browser window open with the channel, and it's playing because the delay does sound about like I'd expect. All right. Anyway, okay. Well, let's get on with the news and get that out of the way. It's just,
We have some news too.
Thank you.
Tornado, you seem very excited. You have news or you have housekeeping?
Yes, the issue regarding the people in Ocala has finally been sorted out. I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, well, most of it anyway. As of midnight, I got $195 on my food stamps.
Oh.
Yay!
Yay!
Calling them on Monday and arguing with them because if I was approved, then I should have been approved back in July.
Aha.
That's all of July's food stamps. Where are they?
Hmm.
And August food stamps came out on the 9th. So where are my August food stamps?
Hmm.
So I'm going to be calling them and finding out what's going on because, hey, where are my August food stamps? Where are my July food stamps? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the thing called feeding is something nice to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the
I have about $100 after bills are all paid. I should be getting more than what they're getting. So, but I'm gonna let you have fun. I'm gonna go check on that.
all right. Very good.
Sorry, it was my video. It was my microphone volume itself that was.
All right. We're good. All right. On that note, let us move on to news. One item we wanted to cover here. So let's get to.
Oh boy.
Let's get to news. And this has.
Oh, and crickets on Scrat the Squirrel because they said slow Cala.
Ah. Okay. Anyway. All right. News of the day. Let's see. U.S. Congresswoman has introduced a bill to make it mandatory for children in public schools to be vaccinated, taking the decision out of the state's hands. I'm rather pleased about this. H.R. 2527 was introduced in May by Representative Frederica Wilson, Democrat from Florida's 24th District, titled Vaccinate All Children Act of 2019. Bill forces states to require public school students to be vaccinated in order to get their grants. So they'll be definitely pushing to get everybody all vaccinated. They're kind of fond of the grants. There will be exceptions, as there always are, but the exceptions have to be by doctors. It has to be for health reasons, and it can't be a made-up excuse. It has to be in keeping with standards of medical care. So, it's gonna be a
That's
little
exactly what I was going to ask, is if there was that provision in there and it was properly worded. It sounds like it is. So, wow, Florida, good on ya.
They're basically following California's lead then, huh?
Yeah, this should be a good thing.
Finally, Florida does something good.
And with the hey, a lot of nice launches down there. I know that from personal experience.
Sean Huffman is in shout. Say
Hey,
John.
howdy, Sean. Alrighty, and
What are you doing in chat? Why isn't he in here?
I don't know. Always invited, of
Give me a
course.
moment.
And all right, so let us get back to the regular screen here. And let's see. Tonight we've got just some wonderful stuff. We've got a holdover from last week. That's good old Barnabas there. Fake History of America 5, Ancient Aliens, blah 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 blah. We've got something from AIG, Answers in Genesis, and watch the count go down. Jeranism.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh man.
So, These are our choices for the evening. So, that being said, let us move to the Wheel of Misfortune.
So I shall make the incantation. Give us Jern. Give us Jern.
Let's go ahead
Wheel
and
of
start it
misfortune.
again.
Turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it. Come on, give me Chisholm. Give me Chisholm.
No
Give me
Jern,
Chisholm.
No, you don't know. No.
Don't do it.
Oh!
Short.
How unfortunate.
Haven't I told you to stop rigging that thing? We always lose.
Yes, that does seem to be the case, and we do seem to have lost again. How
You
could
should
that have
see him
happened?
with dice.
Alrighty. This is, let's see, who recommended? This was recommended by...
I believe Jen.
Let me look. Yes, this was from, Jen, this was yours. There we go. Excellent.
I will apologize in advance.
Okay.
And, but at least this
Jen.
is genuine stupid.
Got it.
We need a heart-to-heart talk. Us two.
Oh, wait a minute. It's genuine, you say. I see what you did there.
Jen, what is the runtime of this video?
This video runs a little less than 15 minutes. It is information packed and just an incredible chain of new theories for us to entertain and integrate in our lives.
So we're good until 5 a.m.
So we're going to Thursday, right?
What,
Video
so
already.
4 or 5 hours, you think?
Oh,
I'm thinking 4.5.
we'll see what happens.
Did I hear Jen say the word theory, or was that me imagining things?
I don't think that's... Well, we'll see. We will see.
Worry.
It's important
Theory,
it's important to
sense
speak it.
outside the theory.
It's important to speak in the vernacular of the presenter.
Right, I'm pretty sure she meant very in layman's terms.
Yes, probably.
So I
so.
have to
There's a
say
lot of
something.
people
Me
out there
and,
that seems to not understand.
me and Bo were secretly talking in the background in a
Yes,
Discord call,
yes.
and he said he wanted to stall you as long as possible.
Understandable,
Hey.
understandable. We're familiar with the people that are on the wheel tonight, so any one of them,
Yeah.
stalling would be appropriate. Unfortunately,
I'm not familiar with Maggie.
you will be, and you will regret it, as will we all. All right, if everyone is prepared, I see no reason why we
Here we
should.
all. Are we ever?
Here we go. Hopefully the hopefully the volume would be good on this one. We're all tuned. And all right, I'm getting a little buzz. Somebody's mic's a little funny. Okay, here we go. Stuff. And we're sorry.
You're getting buzzed already.
It was the Black Sea. Then it is quite different. There's a
Stop that. Whoop. Let's try this again. Here we go.
I was going to say, did we jump into the middle of it? Sai, are you doing us a favor?
I tried to, but unfortunately it didn't start at a part that seemed like the beginning. Wait a minute, there's pineapple talk going on.
Oh, look. Sai,
pineapple is
Sai,
tasty.
Sai, Claudia is on my side. She likes pineapple.
Let me see.
What did I tell you?
Oh,
Actually, Garrett's both of my children.
Karis, I'm on your side.
With Team Pineapple.
Team pineapple.
Oh my
hashtag Team
God.
Pineapple.
Hashtag Team Pineapple, definitely.
Karis, my.
All right.
I can't even.
I'd like to point out that me and Sai are going to be meeting this weekend or next weekend, and
Bring a
for
Hawaiian
food,
pizza.
we're having Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, that'll happen. All right, here we go.
I'm making sure it
the first
happens.
two.
Here we go. Here we go with the video of the evening, and yeah, there shall be no further stalling. Sorry, I'd like to really. I'd love to just talk to you guys till we're done, but we can't. All right, here we go. Stuff.
Courts and asylums. Let's investigate.
Oh, got drank.
What? You can't. You can't.
Wait, mud flood. Mud. He is selling a shirt with legit mud flood on it. Mud flood.
Indeed. All right. We've got.
Seriously?
Oh boy, this is going.
Tornado, we will not get into that at this moment.
All right, we've got two people on the buzzer. RJ, you have something to add here already?
Well, I wanted to make sure that my sound was okay.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Okay, because I was having a lot of troubles earlier in Skeptic's thing on the climate science earlier on his Hangout. So I wanted to make sure I was audible so people could say, "Shut up, RJ," based on what I'm actually saying.
You're saying,
RJ, you need to pay the demons more schmeckles.
You are sounding fine. You are sounding fine.
That ain't never gonna happen, and you know it.
All right. Oh,
they don't accept Bitcoin.
No, they do not.
Did I forget the Did I forget the admonition that if one has not buzzed in and been called upon, that one should not be speaking? Did I forget to mention that? I may have. Maybe I didn't mention that. Anyway,
you did forget.
All right.
I'm scared.
Somebody ticked off Sai.
Let's just keep
Bo. That's all Bo's fault.
Let's just keep that in mind. All right. So,
I'm
let's
not going
see.
to stop him if he goes to kick somebody. Just putting that out there.
It appears we have the Angry Eagle has something to say at this point. What might that be?
Oh, I already started. The stupid is starting early with this one. The gall to even try to push the mud flood because it's no longer the epic.
We're not talking about
global
gold. We're
flood.
talking about eagles.
Oh, good one,
He does
Garrett.
have a pretty mouth.
Crickets?
Hey, I can do a lot with this beak.
Moving on.
Oh, too much information.
All right. On to,
But
yes, go ahead.
so when did the whole idea of the global flood become a mud flood? Did someone drink too much jelly juice?
It could very well. That's really a horrible reference.
Did we not agree
Blood
to
would
never
taste better.
use that term anymore?
Chili juice, chili juice, chili juice.
Okay, I'm
No,
pretty
she's gonna
sure.
Careful, she'll appear.
I'm pretty sure I just said that if you're not buzzed in and you haven't been called on, don't make a freaking sound. I think I said that. I'm pretty sure.
But I'm AT2 Production.
Boot him, Karis.
Who? Pig?
Anybody. Just pick somebody. They don't believe me.
God damn it.
I don't care. Anyway, all right. So, be good.
You're only here because of my mercy.
Yeah,
so-
be good. Be good. If you haven't buzzed in and been,
King pineapple.
if you haven't,
Karis, an angry god.
and it goes on still.
Goddess.
All right. Good. I like that. That's what I want to hear if you haven't buzzed in and been called on. Pig, you're next on the list. What do you got, my friend?
It's so hard not to speak, Sai. It's just so hard.
I know, and I appreciate the effort. It is appreciated.
Okay. So I essentially buzzed so I could be able to speak, but then I forgot why I buzzed. But I have to say, this magnificent doorway to an alternate dimension that is coming out with water
Yes.
would be lovely to enter.
Ah, indeed. One would think so.
I mean, you're not fooling me. That's obviously another portal.
Must be. All right. In any case, let us reset this, and on we go. It can only. I'd like to say it can only go uphill from here, but no, that's not the case.
No.
Here we go.
That's not happening.
Right.
We already know that.
Yep. Here we go.
In one of my previous episodes in America series, I showed you this cave carving, and I was wondering, what are these people doing? They put up their hands like this, and I asked the question why. I didn't understand.
Okay.
So,
go ahead, Pig.
Outside of doing rain dances, it's hands up, don't shoot.
Ah, that's
the only thing it could be.
I see. All right. RJ, what do you got?
Oh, no, it's quite clearly obvious jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Must be. All right. Who's picking these names? Who is Bowl Cut?
Oh, that's me.
Bowl Cut, please proceed.
I got a haircut the other day, and I wanted you guys to notice.
Understand.
In any case, I have to vehemently disagree with both of you. Clearly, they're doing the Macarena.
Oh, that was
there
yes,
you go.
That crossed my mind too. Yes, yes.
I suppose on a more serious note, I mean, if he wants to find out what the significance of this particular, I suppose what inscription is. I mean, I feel like there's proper researchers who have PhDs in this sort of thing whose job it is to look at that. Like, I don't think like pointlessly speculating about what exact dance moves they're doing is going to be incredibly productive.
But that's
or lead to any sort of meaningful
Serious side, do you mean the Dog Star Sirius relating to the Dogon?
Almost certainly.
Okay.
All right. Let us
How much do
see.
you guys have to drink before the show?
Let us see what.
We're starting early, I see.
Let's see what the Angry Eagle has to add. Jared, my friend, go ahead.
Well, for a little bit of levity, I do have to give this guy credit for one thing. We have some truth in advertising on the shirt he is currently wearing. Yes, sir. I suspect all you are going to be talking about is fake history. Now, for one of the postulates that I've heard of when handprints are done on cave art like this, it is actually a way to denote population count for the tribe at that time.
Interesting.
That would not, under any circumstances, be surprising.
All right.
Yeah, if you get them all doing the Macarena in one place, you can very easily count them.
Of
the
course.
population's this high.
Just hands divided by 2. Perfect. All right.
Can I speak, please?
What'd you say?
Can I speak, please?
Sure. Did we skip you? No. Go ahead.
Okay. So I've been looking at these drawings, and as someone said, we shouldn't speculate without being educated on the matter. But I say the other part. Is it me, or to the right of the circle of his cursor, is an actual Ferris wheel?
I mean, considering the size of the people, that's a very small Ferris wheel.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Or very large people.
All right. Perhaps it is a model of a Ferris
I figured
wheel.
it out. They had flea circuses back then.
Maybe it was one of those torture wheels from.
All right.
Wiggly snake.
On that note,
And there's geometry.
let's see what Tornado has to add.
Is he half of a swastika?
Yes, decaffeinado here because I don't have
Caffeinado.
caffeine yet. But it's like, seriously, of all the things you could possibly have done to interpret this drawing, it's like, maybe it's just a drawing for fun.
Yeah.
Because people draw for fun too.
Nash in the side chat says it's a cave painting of Movie Night 2016.
That explains it.
Anybody over on the left side, the standing mouse with the fish skeleton sticking out of its butt?
This is going all sorts of places.
Yeah, this is all buzzing in at the same time.
Hey,
I'm
Archie,
gonna...
haven't you heard about ad placement before?
Yes, there we go.
Never heard of it.
They were
All right.
ahead of their time back then.
Let's see what.
The Neolithic.
Sorry, your Discord, and I think we should move on.
Yes, we should. Jen, what have you to add?
As I've been trying to get you people to understand for the last couple of weeks now, it's aliens, okay? They're real. It's the aliens.
Aha.
Well, of course it is.
Oh, okay, I see. They're doing like a wave thing to indicate to the aliens.
No, I got it.
Okay, guys.
It's the plane
guys,
captain showing them where to land.
Guys, come on, let's go.
Here we go. All right, clearing the board. And here's more of this, and we have made great
One of them
progress.
have an afro.
We have covered a fair amount of this, and that, by the way, is a lie. Here we go.
No, it's not.
Why?
The middle one.
And especially, they are even showing their palms, so it's something very important, it seems. And then I received this comment from Baldemoro Singala.
Wait,
they
drink.
are
Drink here.
All right.
Yeah,
Bull cut.
I mean, it's a rather minor point, but yeah, of course, it's showing their palms. It's the hands. If they weren't showing palms, it'd just kind of like be if you're looking at a hand from the side, it's just a line.
It's just a line, a fat line.
I mean, at that point, you're literally just drawing stick figures.
Wait, 6 fingers meant you were a Nephilim cannibal? Drink.
Is that somebody who eats Nephilim?
I didn't read the thing. What?
Oh yeah, read this.
This is a good video to take through.
All right.
Okay, that's okay. Obviously, okay. First of all, another drink.
Yeah.
That's rather rude to all the 6-fingered people out there.
That is true.
Well,
Including,
honestly, it
Ed
isn't
Malik.
him. It's not his comment. That's from one of his viewers. But
Well, they get
I think
it.
Inigo Montoya would disagree.
Actually, as a point of order, six fingers is actually a dominant trait.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
All
It
right.
involves alanine repeats in the
I
HOX
think Inigo Montoya would agree.
All righty. Diana, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I'm just curious as to whether this particular person, Bogo Amaro Shingala, or whatever the hell it is, has a citation for this.
Citation?
Yeah.
I
You
think
expect a citation?
I know.
This would not be worth holding one's breath over, Diana. That's what I would advise. All right. Tornado, you have something to throw in here?
Yeah, the whole 6 fingers equals Nephilim cannibal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nice way of making an ad hominem against all 6-fingered people. Also, yeah, the 6-finger gene is actually dominant, so that means that everyone with 6 fingers, which would be probably potentially most of the population, potentially, would be basically tried as cannibals.
Hmm.
Wait a moment. I don't have 6 fingers.
No, nor do I.
I have 10 fingers.
Yeah, except that why form the things that have already been said?
And they're all in one hand. That's my. I've got 10 on one hand, none on the other. All right. Let's see. Hill, you've got something else to add.
Yeah, it was about this comment which I didn't notice the first time. It's like, okay, at the very least, the logic in this comment is even stranger. You say, yeah, okay, so there's, even if you take it at face value that 6-fingered people are Nephilim cannibals.
Mhm.
So if you, the second sentence makes no sense. That's why people would hold up their hands to show that they were not cannibals. So assuming that was a real practice, and then for some reason someone decided to draw or engrave the act of everyone holding up their hands to make sure they weren't Nephilim into a wall for some reason, just to make sure the wall isn't a Nephilim.
Of course. What? Now, wait a minute. Now, first off, a Nephilim cannibal would have to eat other Nephilim, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Nephilim aren't human. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it just ate
Or
ate
just
like,
somebody that eats Nephilim.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be losing sleep over this.
Yeah, me too. RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, well, if there are also images of the 6-finger ones on the thing, we have an interesting social environment here. It says, okay, everybody line up with the 5 fingers and put your marks on the wall then. And then now, Zogglevlorb, you with the 6 fingers, come over here because you must be a Nephilim, so we have to put you up here so we can identify you as a Nephilim, okay?
Like that'd go over well.
All righty.
Yeah.
And
No, I think this guy has not thought through the social and contextual form of it. And
RJ, I'm
also,
sure
do we have
there's
any
quite
idea even what
plenty.
continent these pictures are on?
There's quite plenty that this guy has not thought through.
I like the idea that the Nephilim are just like, oh man, you got me.
all right, moving on. Here we go.
Paintings all over the Southwest showing 5 and 6-finger people. If you had 5 fingers, you were a human. 6 fingers meant you were a Nephilim cannibal. That's why people would hold up their hands to show that they were not cannibals. Interesting. So I looked at it again and it makes sense. Especially if you look at this other picture,
I
which
have
was
a
from the
question.
same episode, where these UFO-looking giants...
UFO-looking giants we got going on now. All right, Tornado, what do you got to throw in about the UFO-looking giants?
Seriously, it's like every part of his thing is a conspiracy theory. It's
Almost.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's almost that way, isn't it? All right, and naked people in the chat. Let's fix that.
I think he's talking out his ass.
Maybe. All right, Hill, what do you got?
I mean, just the idea that he saw this random comment is like, that makes sense to me. And just just ran with that without ever like considering that maybe there were just six-fingered people who are just regular human beings, instead of saying, you know what, they're definitely Nephilim.
That's I'm not saying a Nephilim, but they're Nephilim. All right. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh, yes. We got a super chat. Very nice. From Cajun Crustacean, who says, thinking didn't enter the equation. I would tend to agree. All right. Let's see.
What, do you expect thinking?
Yeah.
I think Karis had a drink one.
Indeed. And what? Let's see. Jen's up next. Jen, what do you got?
Well, I was just thinking, why would you have to identify these people by 6 fingers versus 5? If they're giants, couldn't you tell that from, say, 100 yards?
One would think, yeah.
That's a damn good point. All right.
Yeah.
And
where's the music coming from?
I hear none.
Oh boy, I'm hallucinating again. I'm sorry.
Maybe not. All right.
Well, they needed the 6 fingers in order to grab all the Bitcoin.
Of course. Yeah. All right.
I'm sure that it's them who decide. That invented that inch nonsense.
All
the
right.
whole base 12 thing.
Oddly enough, Karis seems to have buzzed. Karis, what do you got?
Oddly enough, indeed, 100 buzz. But he's using Nephilim and cannibal interchangeably. He's not just stressing that 6 fingers are a sign of Nephilim, but they're a sign of one being a cannibal. He said they'd show their hands to make sure that you're not a cannibal. So I wonder what he would say about the 5-fingered cannibals through history.
Yeah, the normal cannibals.
Yeah. All right. Oh, super chat. Yay. From
Or are they Nephilim?
From Scrat the Skeptic Squirrel. The figure is called the Squatting Man, is found all over the world and is believed to be an image of plasma. The stuff we learn on this channel. All right.
Wait, hold on 1 second. So if I go and eat a human being,
yes,
I then become a Nephilim, and then do I grow an extra finger?
Perhaps. And I should mention that's not my chair. All right. Angry Eagle, what have you to add?
Well, first, I think I have it pared down to what this guy's favorite game is. Pokemon. Because, like with all the conspiracies, you gotta catch them all. And the reason for the 6-finger identifier on the Nephilim, well, you can't do it by height over distance because we know perspective screws that all up.
Oh, yes, that's true. Super Chat, Morton. Hey, howdy, Morton. Let's see. Morton says, let this be a lesson to you.
Blasphemy, Morton.
This is a perfect one. Let this be a lesson to you. This is what happens to your brain if you eat pineapple on pizza. Perfect.
Here, here.
People are fun.
That's the guy on the left with the double eyes going.
Okay, and Chris Kelly.
Another one for Chris, yep.
Is he squatting because of waterfalls? All right, for anyone that doesn't know, that's a Jilly reference. Okay, yep, caught it, squatting. All right, let's see. What do we got? Oh, Jared?
I'm good.
Cool, off we go. On with the stuff. I was kind of hoping we could drag this out a bit. I guess not. Here we go.
Are kind of like hiding their
Drag it out.
hands. They don't
Drink.
want to show their palms,
What?
definitely. And they have these...
So, the aliens in the middle within the spacesuits, they cannot show their palms. This is because it's definitely not an artist rendition of anything, and it's I mean, where exactly would you put their palms within this photo?
I mean, I don't know about you, but those look like perfect human heads to me. Completely anatomically correct.
Did we actually call drink for this?
There wasn't, but I don't see... No, that is not a valid drink call. It was entertaining, but it was not a valid drink call. All right.
You said to stall. I was just following your command.
Appreciated, but we better move on here. Here we go.
It looks like a human being leaking spaghetti to me.
Oh, Jared's up again.
They look like aliens.
Jared, what do you got?
I buzzed in to point out that, Sai, you quite literally asked for this.
I did. Quite true. All right. And here we go.
Weird antennas looking like UFOs, but they are really hiding their hands. Why are they hiding it? Do they have 6 fingers? I also found this article.
Okay, so they couldn't have, they could not have had hats on, and they couldn't. But all right, Hill, what do you got?
Why does he keep talking about this like it's a photograph? It's not. It's a rock carving. It's not like, oh yes, they must hide their hands. It's a drawing. You just don't draw their hands.
Jeez, if
they're so hidden, they put it on a damn rock carving.
So if it is, I mean, being that it is a rock carving, how long do you think they had to stand there with their hands hidden? I mean,
it's a carving. You could just the person carving it, if he knows they have 6 fingers, you just draw them with 6 fingers. What?
I have a question. Isn't it possible that the guy that did that just sucks at drawing hands?
That's
or
possible.
counting?
Might have not wanted to draw them. All right, Bo.
Can I have 6 fingers?
If someone carves you in rock, I would imagine so. Bo, what do you got?
Yeah, I don't really want to, jump into the coulda, woulda, shoulda crowd nonsense.
Right.
But if we had to go that route, it could just, and I don't know where this, it says 3 Rivers NM. I have no idea what that means, but I don't know where this is from, this painting, but it could just be because back then they were not quite sober when they made that artwork. They could be drunk, and they could also be,
They were playing rock, paper, scissors, and they both pulled out paper.
Could be that as well.
Just rejecting the idea that art can be stylized.
Yeah, or what's it called? Abstracts?
Yeah.
Picasso kind of weird.
God, just don't let him see Picasso. He'll think people were terribly deformed.
Or Deschamps nude descending a staircase.
I like to yell drink real quick.
Oh, by all means. What do you got?
The source, ghosthuntingtheories.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's
theories out there.
As a reference, that may not be the most credible of sources. All right.
It wasn't exactly Yale peer review.
Yes. Here we go. More stuff.
From Ghost Hunting Theories, and it seems like the 6-finger people are not very uncommon. Here's one picture from 3 Rivers, but it seems that they are all...
All right, that sounded like Squirrel. Squirrel, what do you got?
Ghost hunting theories.
Yes.
I'd like to see. I would just love at this particular moment to see the evidence that supports these theories.
Squirrel,
somebody gets
you're gonna
somebody
be waiting a long time.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bit of a wait.
He's got the wrong definition of theory if he's going to talk about science.
Indeed, and is this image? Does this have anything to do with a ghost? Why is it on Ghost Hunting Theories? All right. Anyway, all right, Karis, what do you got?
He's saying these 6-fingered people are not rare because obviously there are drawings of more than one. I don't know. It just seems like he said that to me.
I mean, also like people, like real human beings with 6 fingers, actually exist, and so like, okay, cool. We've now established that humans exist. Which, I'm glad we got there at least.
If I do a bunch of paintings of unicorns, obviously unicorns are not that rare.
All right. And RJ, what have you to add?
Well, there are clearly several ghost hunting theories that I am aware of. First of all, there is the Casper theory. That is one of the most animated ones. And then, of course, you have the Ghostbuster Theories Volume 1, and then the Ghostbusters Theory sequel, which you don't want to notice, and then the Ghostbusters remake theory. So I need to see at least 4 theories of ghost hunting.
Indeed, and I see
Well,
none
the
of them on
ghost
this
hunting
page.
remake theory is just absolutely trash. But that's kind of a thing.
All righty.
I believe you are also forgetting something else.
Oh?
The Frighteners.
Okay, that works. Anyway, moving on. Here we go. Stuff.
Also putting up their hands. Here's another one from Utah newspaper Rock with 6 toes. 6 toes from Chaco Canyon and 6 toes from Arizona. 6 fingers from France. 6 fingers from Mexico. From Chile and another one from Mexico. But again, they are putting up their hands.
All right. A lot of 6 fingers going on. Okay, and Mr. Squirrel, what do you got?
Yeah, 6 fingers from here, 6 toes from there. It's the nature of Hawk's genes that if you have 6 fingers, chances are you not only have 6 toes, but you have them on both sides.
One would think. All right.
What are you on? What crack are you smoking, Niggy? Stop that.
Not entirely sure.
Wherever it is, you need to tell. You know what? I have a question for Mr. Niggy at this point. Where did you get the drugs so I know how to avoid them?
All right.
I need to know what drugs you're on and where I can avoid them. Because frankly, you're just nuts.
That seems to be the case. All right, let us move on to Hill. Hill, what do you got?
Again, I don't see his point. I mean, yeah, okay, we've at the very least established that 6-fingered people exist in the real world. Now he just needs to prove that anything that has 6 fingers is a demon, more or less.
All right.
His entire premise rests upon the fact that humans cannot have 6 fingers.
All right, so he's only got one more step. He's only got one more step to verify in his theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Then. Okay.
He just needs to show that humans cannot have 6 fingers, and that demons or these Nephilim have to have 6 fingers. And he needs to show that these are actual, these are renditions, artist renditions of actual real things. For example, in the same way that if you just found a carving of a unicorn, that wouldn't mean that unicorns exist.
Right.
So he's got 2 steps, and I guarantee he's gonna miss both.
Proof that we don't.
All right, let's see what RJ has to add. RJ, what do you got?
Okay, is 6 Fingers Over Texas the Nephilim Cannibal Amusement Park?
Yes.
And if you go there, should you avoid the family buffet?
Yes.
Probably should. All right. And Angry Eagle, what do you got?
You know, I'm already 2 beers in, and I'm still thinking straight. So while I'm at it, let me just point out that could all these associations of 6-fingered drawings be a massive fuck up? Because talk to any artist, drawing or painting, or people who do both. When it comes to the human form, what is the most difficult thing to get right?
Oh,
It would depend on the artist, but very often it kind of goes between the face and the hands.
Between the nose and the hands. Most often, the hands. It's actually why a lot
Now, what
of...
did I say a little while ago?
It's also why, if you look at a lot of even animated stuff today, you'll find characters in frames missing a digit, simply because it's easy to miss and it looks better drawing 4 fingers instead of all 5.
Yeah.
Quite true.
This is one of the reasons why The Simpsons only has 4 fingers, but God within The Simpsons has 5.
Yep.
Interesting.
Maybe they decided that if you're really important, you have to have 6 fingers because that makes you special.
Wait,
Yeah.
if in a universe with 3 fingers, wait, hold on. If in a universe of 3-fingered beings, God has 5, does that mean in our universe God would have 6?
Yes.
So God's a Nephilim.
And a cannibal.
Oh fuck.
And a cannibal? All right. All right, Bo, what do you got to add?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It usually works when I unmute.
Oh, it's a good thing.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, this 6-fingered thing, I've done the strangest thing, probably to this guy, and looked around for it. You know, used Google or whatever else kind of search engine there are. Other search engines. There. Okay, potato mouth. I'm a Dane. Sorry. Let me try again. 6-fingered people, and there are many hundreds, if not thousands. Oh yeah, thousands of damn it, thousands of years history of people actually being born with 6 fingers and 6 toes, for that matter. Those people back then, all around the world, mostly, were highly revered. It's a myth kind of thing, and also. There's talk about 6 fingers in the Bible too. Just like the Bible talks about, you know, a all-encompassing flood that also, you know, didn't really happen. But that's a different subject. How many other religions? Never mind that. Where did it first appear? It wasn't in the Bible. So, you know, if somebody makes up a story, oh, this sounds cool. Hey, let's steal this and use it for our own religion.
Hmm.
I wonder if there's specialty keyboards for six-fingered people.
Okay. Oh,
I was
okay.
actually wondering about that, and I think they would be able to type better than we can.
Could be.
And also, with the standard piano playing style for six-fingered people, include 5 fingers then?
They have more interesting
normally
chords.
it would be only 4.
Hmm.
Yeah. It
All
would actually
right.
be kind of cool if it didn't.
Okay,
mess them up.
we have a super chat, but who best on the panel? Who best can do the proper voice for this? From Chris Kelly.
I can try it.
First off, who is Ingo Montoya?
Who is Tornado? You want to give it a shot?
Wine.
My name is Ingo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
All right, very good, and thank you very much, Chris. All right, and I see RJ. That was perfect. RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, don't forget the hand job aspect. I mean, that would make them really successful right on the map.
It's like we didn't even.
Well then,
It's like we didn't say.
real quick.
It's like we didn't say anything pre-show. All right. Anyway, that's
With
there's
the number of fingers, actually, never mind.
some things are just
Never mind.
some things are just unexpected, and that would have been one of them. All right,
Carrot, more surface area.
Very good.
Harris, Twitter.
Jen, what do you got?
I was going to say just one thing, but you guys have brought up many points I need to address.
Oh, okay,
First
go
of
ahead.
all, his drug of choice. His drug of choice is his bad reaction to fluoride.
I see.
Secondly, these are not religious paintings; they're instructions on how to do a high 6. And thirdly, a more obscure reference: are Ernest Hemingway's cats going to come into this at any point?
We shall see. I would imagine. All righty, RJ, what do you got?
I just read some of the text on there. I have heard many times from Bigfoot researchers of them coming across six-fingered tracks. So that's clinches it, in my opinion. I mean, you know, if you got the Bigfoot researchers on your team,
That's what better reference could you have?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I know, right? What's up with that?
I mean, look at the source. That person lives in Pentagon before Christ.
All right, here we go.
I think that might be Penticton.
That's even worse.
Yes, here we go. Moving on.
Oh, never mind. I can't read.
Oh, Morton. Thank you, Morton. Morton says, "Now I want a Spanish-talking tornado plushie."
Oh, great! Yeah, that could be marketed.
Tornado.
We
That
need to.
part of it.
We
See,
need
the
to get the
problem with that,
calendar
if
first.
you marketed that,
Yeah.
RJ, you'd have to cut Tornado in for the profits, and Science Strike Force needs to order the Tornado.
You know that's quite
Right.
that is quite true. He who has not
But
buzzed.
wouldn't you want a little tornado plushie?
Of course, other he who has not buzzed. All right, moving on. Here we go. And it's going to be fun. And by fun, I mean stupid.
So this is a little bit confusing because both the 5-finger people and the 6-finger...
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I missed Hill. Hill, you had something to add?
No, I was just gonna ask. Tornado, ¿tú hablas español?
What?
Okay, that would be a no.
We'll put the plushie into R&D.
That would be a no. So moving on. Here we go.
people or giants are putting up their hands. So I'm not sure exactly what this is. If you know, please let me know in the comments below.
Drink.
The next set of people...
It's giant mugging. Angry Eagle, what do you got?
They're saying don't shoot.
Don't shoot. That works. All right.
Thinking these
Hey, I said that earlier.
Yeah, why does he keep... Sorry, going back to this. Why does he keep thinking these are, like, life-size photographs? It's so bizarre.
That it is.
Never mind, just keep going past it. It's
They're
like,
photographs of these carvings.
Of course.
Wait,
And
would you
yeah.
say? Wait, they were what? How bizarre?
This bizarre.
How bizarre. All right. Jen, what do you got?
You may have to do a science alert. Not yet.
Okay.
But RJ, in all seriousness, is
Mhm.
there a historical reason that you could be addressed as to why there would be pictographs of six-fingered people?
Oh, I think Bulk hit it on the head that they were popping up with sufficient frequency that they were regarded as something really special. In the same way, often the people with epilepsy and other kinds of things that went into the dream world were regarded with some importance. So it doesn't surprise me at all. No one is ever going to ever pictograph up a fake guy.
But wait a
I'm
minute.
autistic, so I'm an indigo baby.
Oh, wait, so RJ, you said they
For
showed.
reference, I will put a link to it in the live chat.
Cool.
But for the panel members, it's in the panel member channel on Discord. For you
Okay.
to read about.
Yay!
But
All
I'll
right.
send it to the live chat later.
And who said this show was a waste of time?
Indeed.
Everybody.
And actually, I think
Oh wow. Okay, RJ.
there's a group that we have underrepresented here. RJ said they showed up with frequency, so we got to get the crystal people in here. They're big on frequencies. All right, here we go. More stuff and the occasional thing.
Pictures are from David from Whittier, California, and he made these nice shots about Emmanuel Church. And look at the mud flood windows. A typical Greco-Roman so-called colonial architecture designated as a church.
Mud flood windows. Okay. Tornado.
Wow,
Tornado,
this is a
you're
whole new artistic tradition.
Yeah, Tornado, what
well,
do you got?
first of all, I've got a question for RJ.
Oh.
The fuck is the mud flood?
I don't know. I only
you
knew
guys
the
have
big
something
fancy
called-
flood.
It's like,
Is
it's
it
like a baby
flood?
boom of mudbloods.
I'm not. I wouldn't call this a remarkably intelligent speculation, but I'm gonna guess that it's a flood
of
mud.
Yeah. As opposed to the big flood, which had water and mud.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that opposed to the global flood.
Indeed, they were related at some point.
And then the lesser known flood that had orange juice and Rice Krispies.
All right, Hill, what do you got?
Okay, I suppose what I mainly wanted to say is I don't know about you guys, but I got some very bad whiplash there from changing topics so randomly. It's like, okay, we've established that six-fingered people exist, and now we go straight to this building has a mud flood windows, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean.
Which I think is another way of saying that they don't want anybody to see what's inside the window, so they just painted it over with brown paint.
Well, hey,
Because honestly, it's like ground level windows.
Hmm.
Like, is that significant for some reason?
There's a super chat from Martin.
Do we
Wilson.
dare? Do we
I
dare
think one of them has
spool the video back about 5 seconds? Maybe we'll get probably not, but maybe we will get the connection to which there is absolutely nothing. But
It's Windows. It's Windows at ground level. That's his connection to this mud flood
Also,
nonsense.
Cypher, Karis was right. There was a super chat.
Yep, got it. It's from Morton. Morton, thank you very much. Oh, Naked Demon in chat. That's already fixed, I believe. Naked Demon in chat, that gets you demonetized. I see what you did there, you funny guy, you. All right. And Chris mentioned six-fingered clams caused the mud floods. All right, good that we know that now.
That makes sense.
Indeed. Jared, what do you got?
So, because the whole thing of Noah's flood, the global flood, has been so beaten to death by people who are even just semi-intelligent, as the young Earth creationists have come up with the mud flood to try to explain the layering and the fossil record and everything, because a standard flood would not allow it, and some of them have started to capitulate to that, which is now why, it wasn't a regular flood, it was just mud.
Aha. Okay. All right.
Except that, correct me if I'm wrong, but a large outflowing of mud wouldn't have created the Grand Canyon in like 5 minutes.
Generally not. All right. Actually,
also, if you have the global flood being just mud, well, then say goodbye to every single aquatic life form that's supposed to be surviving the flood. That Noah didn't bring on the ark.
Don't worry about how it makes it worse for them.
all right. And all right. Does anybody here? Heat Shield has a request.
Pets.
Heat Shield says.
I asked him. I'm sorry to interrupt. I asked him earlier. It is not the the sound that comes from the super jets. It's a pet's dinger or bell. Sorry. Word there.
All right.
It's a pet that hopefully it's hopefully a pet wearing a bell.
All right. I did not hear said bell, but all right. Anyway, we have RJ who wishes to comment. Please proceed.
Yes, he has called attention apparently to the idea that in making these stained glass windows up above to depict God knows what, down below they are creating the mud flood windows to depict the flood. Now, I noticed that you see right underneath circle is mud flood number 1, and then there is one to the right,
Are we
slightly
making fun of him
over.
for his accent?
Oh, I think so. And then
my
in the
God.
middle, there is
that's
the
not
lesser known mud flood roller drake, which was in a different hydrological zone as the mud flood Venetian blind that is on some of the other rare buildings.
Understand.
I mean, what?
Yes.
I did buzz in here. This is
Yeah, I don't see on the thing, but go ahead.
this is my suggested video, so I did take the time to research this.
Okay.
The mud flood supposedly happened somewhere in the neighborhood of 400, 500 years ago. And it was a global phenomenon where mud covered the earth, wiping out the nation of Tartaria, which was the location of the home base of all the giants. This not only flooded the streets up to the level of a story or so that they had to dig out, but didn't dig out all the way, hence the smaller windows on the bottom. But it also destroyed all the giants. And so all these large buildings that they built that we now occupy that had things like free energy, radar towers and stuff like that.
Of course.
Are now defunct for us to uncover and to redevelop into free energy because we're being lied to.
Of course.
And if you look into the various
500 years ago,
the mountains and things, you will see the fossilized people, the giants, laying around dead and fossilized, and you can look at their and find in their anatomy living cells that can be DNA tested, vaginas inside mountains, and other things that we just
Sorry,
need
what?
to learn about.
Hold on, wait.
Yes.
Wait, hold on 1 second. You said 400 years ago?
400 or 500 years ago, something like that.
So this happened allegedly. If it is 400 years ago, I just checked. That happened
During the
in the middle of that happened in the middle of Galileo's life.
Well,
So apparently,
that's immaterial to this. There's
I know, but I'm
actual
just saying-
pictures of them digging out buildings that he may. I don't know if he goes into it in this video, but there are pictures of them digging out buildings after the mud flood for us to understand it further.
Right.
You've really...
I didn't know that the area in the southwest United States had such an amazing array of architecture in the mud flood period that they are describing.
Jen, what did you say was inside mountains? I think I misheard you.
Well, there's people fossilized in mountains, and there's one gentleman who goes out and researches mud floods and gives us all kinds of examples of various body cavities and things that show up in the structure
I did
of
not hear you
mountains.
wrong. Huh.
Particularly,
you heard right.
He apologized.
seems particularly good at identifying vaginas in mountains.
That's
fascinating. Did you go for college? Did you go to college for that?
That's a skill.
Is that like the vagina monoliths?
Oh, hail the monolith.
No, that would be the monologues, but the logs are a different thing. Those are came from the giant trees that we can now see, like Devil's Tower.
I see.
Sort of thing. You guys just don't understand this stuff.
I did that.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't.
It all seems so clear now.
Because it's stupid.
All right. Anyway,
I'm glad.
Clear as mud floods.
I do appreciate you doing that amount of research. That has been most helpful. All right.
Yes, we sympathize with your having done so much research.
Agreed. All right. And Squirrel, you have something to add here.
Look at demons.
Okay.
Look at demons.
Somebody explain this.
Muffin? What? Muffin?
all right.
All right. Somebody
Yeah,
explain
I
this
love
to me,
it.
because I completely screwed on it. 500 years ago, we have clear documentary records of everything, of pretty much anything that we could want to know about.
Fake news.
Going back at least another 200 years prior to that.
Fake news.
All the way, and almost all the way across the northern hemisphere and large parts of the southern hemisphere. Did I miss something here?
What are you going to trust? Actual writings or them?
I think I'll take the writings. I'm not going to take this guy's word for it.
Fuddy-duddy.
Fuck that guy.
All right. Anyway, Bo, what do you got?
A miss buzz. In other words, asked and answered.
Oh, good enough. Not a problem. All right. And no, Morton, there's nothing dinging in my entire house. There's no dinging going on here. Trust me on this one. Anyone who's dinging...
You don't even have a doorbell?
No.
Jeez.
Only
No.
thing dinging is his ling.
All right. There should be...
What?
Was I the only one that caught that? Really?
Excuse
How many
excuse me,
fingers
please?
are involved?
May I interrupt, please?
By all means, go right ahead.
Harry Warp did bring up a point that I did forget to mention, that the mud flooders do explain to us that history has been faked to cover up the mud flood. It's an important point. I'm sorry I forgot. Thank you, Harry.
That clarifies a lot.
Indeed. See, now it all makes sense, doesn't it? All right.
Like, is there a particular?
So wait, the absence of the evidence is the evidence of the conspiracy?
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Did you know that, Tornado?
Exactly.
The more evidence that you have against something, the more it must be true.
Is there a particular reason that history, this entity, history, doesn't want anyone to know about these mud floods?
It's a secret.
Is there a particular reason? Or do we just not?
They
Or
are
does history just
not
not
dramatic
like
enough for them?
I'm asking as like a legitimate question. Like, why do they not like? Why does history not like the concept of this mud flood?
Perhaps for the same reason that the flat Earth is being concealed from us, to keep us distant from God. That's the reason for it, is it not?
Yeah, because a surge of mud is, that's keeping me from God.
Yes.
What?
Now, are mud flaps on trucks the secret cult of the mud flood?
That's how these mud flooders that's how they recognize each other.
There we
Do they
go.
have a wrestling team?
And there's the group with like the silvery buxom women, and okay, I got it now.
All right. Anyway, Angry Eagle, what have you to add?
I think you guys are actually missing it. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier.
Okay.
The reason why they're covering up the mud flood is because they don't want to know that we are actually on the 4th version of Earth now, and God is really going to hate us because there actually already has been a second coming in judgment, but they just want us to think that it's still pending in hopes that we'll actually behave this time. Ha ha! Little do they know.
Bad chance of that.
All righty.
Especially with this class.
Well,
this group.
Unfortunately, this means we have to continue. Here we go.
See the mud
Yeah,
flood
how
windows
much
here
more
as
of
well.
this is
And
there?
another.
Not a lot. Not a lot. We've let's see. It's under 15 in total, and we have covered a grand total of 2.5 minutes. So we're doing okay.
Wow.
All right.
Through.
Here we go.
Moving on.
A nice shot. What's interesting here is that some of these windows have been built in. I'm not sure what they are trying to hide, but as Christians, they could hide anything.
Drink.
Christian.
Drink.
All right, Hill, go ahead.
These are my favorite kinds of conspiracy. It's the one where the conspiracists, they're just super lazy. They want to hide the windows just by kind of like, not even like covering them with anything, like just building a wall where the window would be. Yeah, great job hiding the conspiracy, guys. Like, it's the same with Flat Earth. Like, all these people who, they're doing a conspiracy, but they're all just really lazy at it, and they don't really bother to try and cover it up. It's like, they do a very bare minimum. There's not the possibility that this particular architect just built it that way. No, that's not an option. These are filled in mud flood windows.
Of course they are.
Of course. Why didn't I see it?
Yeah, it's very, very astute observation there. All right. Bo, what would you like to add? After after unmuting, I mean.
Yeah, that muting thing again. Plus, my computer's killing me. Well, I'm killing the computer. It's way too old now. There's also this thing of this place here. I'm probably wrong here, but it almost looks as if this has been repurposed for whatever it was previously into a club, a nightclub or a cafe or I don't know, a gambling establishment, something that, wants some privacy maybe? Or
No,
some
we've
more
established
secure
it is-
orifices than just, glass so people don't break into it?
It is people taking refuge from the flood of mud.
Of course. It's obvious when you think of it that way. Alrighty.
And they're called Wessie
Yeah,
or
of course, these people during these mud flood, they didn't think to cover the door, but the windows, we gladly got those.
And it
Yes,
does say
indeed.
for all ages, so they include all. They're inclusive. That's a good thing.
That's a plus. All right. RJ, what do you got to add?
Yeah, I didn't know that I was part of this conspiracy because I've filled in windows at my house without realizing the significance of it.
Oh my, you're one of them. All right.
Damn.
Tornado, what do you got?
On the topic of the mud flood,
Yes.
wouldn't it be possible for even a slight landslide like a mud flood to completely eviscerate quite literally everything in its path?
Guys, I'm still on cannibalistic Nephilim. Why are we? What are we
And this individual does jump around a lot. All right, so mud floods, and obviously, yeah, they hid the windows so well that everyone who walks by goes, "Hey, what the hell happened to the window?" Got it. All right, moving on.
Humanity is one of the most subtle, most secretive secret society. And this is an interesting one because these 3 windows looks like out of line. You know what I mean? Here, this is a ventilation window. You can see that. But these 3 windows, they are not. They have glass in it, and they don't have the same size. So I'm not sure about that. Looks really weird. And it's the first...
It's wow.
All right. Scroll, what do you got on the oddly sized windows?
Okay, first off, has this guy ever heard of basements? Because basements that are fit for occupation are required to have windows as well. And does he have something against just the very idea of glass? Is it that glass is required to protect from flooding of mud, or if windows are only there for ventilation, so if it has glass in it, it can't. It has to be protected against mud floods. Is that
Imagine
where
what
we're
he'd
going?
say against wood shutters?
Yeah, well, that's yeah, and the first thing I thought when I saw the different sized holes that were for the windows was that they had, when they went to Walmart, they got 2 window box air conditioners that were the same size and one that was a little smaller. That's all. All right.
What the fuck? Now I want to know what the fuck I actually heard, because none of that made sense. There were words. They sounded like English. They were kind of in something resembling English syntax, but the result made no sense of any kind.
Keep in mind also, this is the first Christian church. The second one, they got much better.
All the windows were the same size. The
I
mud
never
flood
understood
windows.
how they name those things. This is I would assume this was like the first Christian church, and like there's literally no other. This was literally the first Christian church.
That would be the
1923. It's the first Christian
area. That would be the first Christian church in this particular area, whatever they mean by Christian.
All right.
No, you got to remember the chronology. No, this is the very first Christian church, and it's 1923.
We all know Christ died in the year 1922.
Right.
Yeah, see, this is part of the new chronology.
Mystery Night for the Children says, "What if I told you that glass is not just glass, but is an alien mud flood technology to hide the truth from the sheeple?"
You know what, Mystery Night for the Children, I half expect he's going to make that claim here shortly, because it's that is just retarded enough to give him to be worth considering.
All righty, Hill, what do you got?
Okay, 2 things. First of all, first thing is response to Squirrel. Is like, does he know? Has he ever heard of a basement? Yeah, of course he's living in one. Anyway, second, his argument is so confusing. Like, he's saying, okay, people back in the olden days built their windows super low because of mud flood reasons. But like, assuming that, I mean, this is people do that in modern day. People build windows that are like partially indented into the floor. I mean, does he think that it's only possible for people to have a low window because in the past mud was flooding?
Yes.
Like, what?
Yeah. Yes.
There's no logical connection between those 2 things.
Oh,
between
you know
having
what?
Low windows and floods of mud.
Peg,
good point.
Let me put this to you and to our pet idiot today. The purpose of Windows, last I checked, and it's been this way for as long as I can, for as far back in history as I've studied, is that Windows, the primary purpose of Windows is to let light into a room. Why on earth would you build Windows down that low if you were expecting some sort of
Hold on, I think
flood of
Claudia
mud that
Tuttle
was going
is leaving.
Oh,
Bye, Claudia.
bye, Claudia. Thanks for joining us.
Oh no! Goodbye, Claudia.
Wait,
Sorry for the aneurysm.
Yeah, sorry, but also, I mean, Squirrel, have you never just been sitting in your home, particularly in the basement, and thinking, you know what, I just want to open my window, go out, just look outside and have a nice, fresh breath of mud?
No, actually, it wouldn't be a fresh breath of mud. It would be a fresh burying. It would be a fresh burial in mud.
Get out of me,
I
swamp.
haven't seen any fossils like that, so and never heard tell of any. RJ could probably back me up on that.
Okay. Oddly enough,
Human
it's
beings that have been buried in mud and then because they opened the fucking windows. Do you know of anything like that, RJ?
Guys, wait, no, guys, wait, guys. Get out of me, swamp.
all right. It looks like RJ's next up on the board. RJ, what do you got to add?
Yeah, I was thinking about what that wall might actually have referred to, not the currently one where we're seeing the very first Christian church from 1923, but instead the previous one where you saw the windows he was obsessing about, and then also the big thing up above it. It reminded me of somebody that used to have a loading dock, and that was an entry, and they've walled it in. And the ones on the bottom could be all sorts of things. It could have been an old coal chute. That's the little itty bitty one that's now been sealed up, and they would just put a window in there instead. It's like there might be an architectural history to a structure that dates back to at least 1923, where things were like different before that poor little creature existed with his non-functioning brain.
Well, let me clarify. Let me clarify once again. The mud flood buried the buildings. They buried what became the first floor became the basements, and the second floor is now the first floor, and they had to build new entrances.
So these buildings didn't previously have basements.
Yeah. May I suggest a certain stratigraphic implausibility with that scenario?
Well, you can't ignore reality.
Yeah, well, we did see both sealed up windows and regular windows with glass, and suddenly it seems that both indicate a mud flood. I
think the pug's expression is suitably anguished at this point.
I mean, I used to go to a building sometimes where it was renovated such that the bathroom has a window, but a bathroom has a window which literally looks at a brick wall, as in literally is pressed up against a literal brick wall, because the part was renovated, so they added an extension. So it's literally just a brick wall. I assume, but it's on like the second floor, so I assume this is also somehow part of this mud flood conspiracy.
It must be. I would imagine that would, what you just described would be mud protection. Do you not see that?
Yeah.
All right.
Or mud protection.
Indeed. All right. And Angry Eagle, what do you got?
Hill stole my thunder about the whole living in a basement thing, and yeah, it was Hill you were talking to there, Squirrel, not Pig.
Oh, sorry about that, Hill.
All right.
What?
I promise you I did not mean to offend.
Oh, it's fine. Pig and I are the same person, so it's all cool.
There you go. All righty. And moving on.
Christian church built in 1923 in Whittier, California. First Christian church, and look at that architecture. Next up is a relic from Jane Doe, and this is apparently a rock carving. But I'm doubting this was carved because it looks like to me it was rather printed, or 3D printed or molded. I'm not sure. I doubt that this was carved. And she says that this was from the
Yeah.
Are you still? I'm not seeing you present
I'm seeing
here.
the pug.
Oh,
yeah, so am I.
Me neither. Oh, now I can see it.
It should be.
I'm still seeing pugs.
Not that I don't mind seeing the cute little pug.
Indeed, you should be seeing the.
No, Side Strike. Yeah, Side Strike has two.
Yeah, there's
two.
two.
Of him.
Yeah, one's for one is for the.
It actually
you're gonna make it complicated, aren't you?
Yeah, you changed, so now it's the other one.
No, I didn't. I didn't touch
you,
anything.
Size did.
All right, can everyone see what they need to see at the moment?
Unfortunately, I can.
It looks like a drunken hedgehog wearing a lampshade.
Actually, Sai, I think what
yeah,
happened.
He's got two side strikes. Let me see if I can pin.
Side Strike. For some reason, the one that wasn't showing your stuff before is now showing your stuff. So we all have to switch to the other Side Strike.
That is peculiar. All right.
Not here.
There has
Okay,
not been.
never mind then.
Mud flood.
Yeah, there hasn't been a change on this.
There was a,
one
there
either.
was a mud flood.
All right, it must have
Blocked the
been.
view.
Must have been. All right.
They both look like the pug pool.
All right. So, what was he saying? He said this thing was 3D printed. I think that's drink worthy. So I'm just going to augment.
Oh, so, wait, what? I blacked out there. Literally, ha ha ha. What?
He had indicated that this little article we're seeing right here was 3D printed. Yeah, it wasn't carved.
It looks.
I mean,
It
when
looks
does
like
it
a-
date?
It looks like a drunken hedgehog wearing a lampshade.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
All right.
Depending on how recent it is, I mean, I guess it could have been. I mean, if it's like if it's just made to look old, yeah, it might just be like a year old, and it might actually have been 3D printed. But I mean, if it predates 3D printing technology, I somehow doubt that it was 3D printed.
I would tend, and it should be pretty easy to tell if it's from, I mean, some sort of plastic, then yeah, pretty good chance. If it's rock,
Yeah.
no. We do not have means for 3D printing with rock at the moment. It's been done
Yeah,
with,
I mean,
it's been done with
technically-
concrete.
Technically, we do, and we've had. It's called carving.
Yes. That's true.
The Tatarians were far more advanced than common humans.
I see. All right, so they
Did they
had,
lose 3D printing in the mud?
of course.
It could have been.
All right, and here we go.
Of the desert, and lots of energy is coming from it. So the question we should be asking is who made this? Because it was definitely not Columbus Christoph and his mafia gang. You know, it was definitely some kind of ancient.
Oh, Jared, do you have something to add?
Yeah, Christopher Columbus was not an artist. He had some artists with him to keep himself entertained, but an artifact like this, if it was from that time frame, would not have been from the Spanish. It would have been from the indigenous people that he
Shall we say visited?
took care of.
Yes.
I mean, that's just like, it feels so random to me say, like, yes, Columbus did not make this. You may have just said the King of Spain didn't make this. I mean, yeah.
Nor did
What?
Hill. Hill also did not make this.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't know that.
All right.
I have 3D rock printing technology. I can do anything.
Great.
Technically, we do. It's called concrete.
Yeah.
Shush. Hush now.
And yeah, there is 3D printing of concrete too, which is kind of a cool process. All right, moving on.
People who lived in America. It could have been the Native Americans or some even older ancient peoples. Phrase one recommended for me to look into Penn Station in New York City. And I mean, what an architecture, look at that. They say that this is an 8-acre structure, and with all of those details that we are used to from the Tartarian buildings, all the fine details and the big pillars, and yet this was standing for 53 years. And then it was demolished. Why on earth would they want to demolish such a building? This is standing
Frank.
strong.
All right. And Jared, what do you got?
Maintenance issues there, buddy. A building that big that is a train station has a lot of fumes to deal with. And also with how old it was stone and wood for a public building that large.
I mean,
Can you say fire hazard?
Renovations are a thing. I mean, regardless, I mean, who cares? I mean, you could renovate a building for any number of reasons. Like, for example, like it's not up to health and safety. This is so bizarre. It's like saying, okay, once you put up a building, you may not take it down. It is,
or
the
anything,
gods
do
will not allow
anything
it.
to it at all.
Yeah. So it would seem. All right. RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, I am puzzled. I have tried pinning either one of the pugs to see what the images are, and they all just show pug.
Reload me.
Okay, I will leave
had
the
to.
room, and I will be back. Please let me in.
All right. So we. So
you won't. He won't need to be let in if he just hits the reload button.
So we've been.
Well, it is
we've been.
RJ.
Yeah, we've been Googled. That's the issue then. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left and rejoined, and it's fine now.
All right, we've been Googled. Okay.
Okay. Oh God, Karis is back. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, now you gotta be good. It's not just me. Karis is here. You gotta be good.
Okay. Yeah, thank God. The most important member is here. Aside from me, of course. But anyway, so yeah, this it's a building. They can take it down for any number of reasons. Doesn't matter how pretty it is. If it's not, I mean, if I don't know, I've never heard of this building before. I mean, the reason they took it down. I mean, but I mean, if it's because of health and safety reasons, then it doesn't matter how beautiful it is. It'll look less beautiful if it's burning.
Well, and actually, Astro Rex lives in New York City. He has more of a tie to the actual history of the area, and the time frame. It just clicked to me. Yeah, they scaled it back because Penn Station, the amount of train traffic outside of the subway system dramatically dropped because of commercial air travel.
But that bus type vehicle on the bottom left of that building,
the trolley,
somewhat looked like a tram from
It is.
San Francisco.
The trolley.
Yeah, they had those in all major U.S. cities. Yeah.
Okay. I only thought that was.
And those other things, the horse is pulling a buggy.
Yeah. So
no, it's another trolley.
No, there are a couple horse-drawn carriages there because when Penn Station was built, which this image looks to be from when it was actually first built, which was when train travel was huge, late 1800s, early 1900s, before the actual automobile, the personal automobile, which is why you have that mix of trolleys and horse-drawn carts, because we're in that transitional phase for transit, for individual and public transit. And yeah, 50 years later, a little over 50 years later, we were beginning to fly commercially. So a large structure like this for interstate train travel was no longer required.
Apologia.
Paul.
Oh, hey, Paul. Howdy.
Hi, Paul.
There's a question-ish type
Paul
comment
says
from
that
Darren
horses
Marsh.
are shit at drawing anything. It
That
might
is-
be their lack of thumbs.
That is most definitely it.
Although they do have 4 hands or feet, really. But
No, I hate that. If you Google, I've done this before. If you Google "are horse legs fingers," the first result is truly cursed.
yeah, but they do have feet. They have 5 toes. They walk on 2 or 1. I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah,
But they do actually walk on 2.
Damn you, taxonomy.
Darren Marsh has a question. Pardon me, boy. Is that the Pennsylvania state? Yeah, Pennsylvania state.
The Pennsylvania state.
All right. Actually, Jen's been waiting a while. Jen, what do you got?
I'm trying to be good here, so I'm just not talking unless I get called.
Cool. Well, that's great.
That was a hint.
I'm happy.
The Penn Station was demolished at the age of about 53. The building was actually in very good shape structurally overall. It was in disrepair, but it was quite the fight locally to have it torn down. The biggest reason it was torn down was urban renewal and the rich guys wanting the land so that they could make more money. Ultimately, Penn Station lost and it disappeared. And architecturally, there are many who consider it a major loss to American architectural history.
As with a lot of buildings.
Yeah, and I was sort of disturbed about the disappearance of the trolleys and such too. That was pushed out by oil, replaced with buses, and that was not a good. All right, RJ, what do you got?
Did we get RJ back?
Did we get it back? I don't see him.
I don't think we've gotten him back yet.
I see him in there. We need an audio check from him.
RJ, hello.
RJ.
I accidentally got muted.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
There we go. Yeah. The New York City already had the subway by the 1910s. It's probably accidental. It's probably a very early picture because I seem to think the thing was built just around 1910. And at that point, automobile traffic would still be relatively rudimentary. The fact that we don't see any cars flitting around in there indicates what a boring life it was up there at Pennsylvania Station at that time.
Personally, I'm just looking forward to how he's going to connect the demolition of this building to Nephilim and or six-fingered people and or mud.
See, do you see many basement windows in this structure? So where exactly is the mud layer? Is he implying this building was built on top of the mud layer? and that they demolished it because they were ashamed of the fact that it was built on the mud layer before or after the building of the trolley car lines and all the buildings around it.
That is possible as well. You know what? Maybe that'll be explained in the intolerable amount of time that's left in this video.
Yes. This is. I am not. I am increasingly skeptical that this person has a functioning brainstem.
You may be right there. I'm still.
He is not a credit to his phylum.
No. The Metazoans are not happy with him in the group.
He was a special kind.
Yeah. I think Six Fingers would have been an improvement in his case.
All right, here's more of this stuff.
As far as I can tell, but I think it was just for wiping off the lost civilization and the proof of it. As you can see, the building was
Drake.
Okay.
We're not just skipping past that.
Good.
They built this station in 1910 in order to cover up something that happened 300 to 400 years earlier.
Yeah.
And then demolished it in order to cover up that event which the building of the building had already covered up.
Yes, precisely.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Yeah, in a kind of egg beater of the neurons sort of way.
Exactly.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just crash my head into the desk a little bit more, and then maybe it'll make sense. Give me 1 minute.
All right. Alrighty. Let us move on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
From 1910 to 1963, so 53 years only, and the status is demolished in 1963. And here's another picture from the outside. Here's a picture from the inside with all the fine details. Wikipedia said that the station occupied an 8-acre, 3.2 hectare plot bounded by 7th and 8th Avenues and 31st and 33rd Streets in Midtown Manhattan. 33-degree Freemasonry.
Drink. Hold on.
Okay, who didn't see that coming? Hill, what do you got?
I love this. It's like it's like hotels which purposefully don't put in a 13th floor. It's like no city is allowed to have a 33rd street. It's like, do you think? I didn't bang my head into the table enough.
It's the missing 32nd Street. It's because it's really big.
Any city or any place that labels stuff sequentially is going to eventually have the number 33 if they work high enough up to the number 33. I mean, so fucking surprise.
Not if they know what. Not if they know what's good for them.
I bet there's a bunch of other houses and other shit on the 33rd Street, but like. What? What?
All right, I see your problem. You're looking for you're looking for logic in his arguments, aren't you? You are.
No, I'm not. I'm just flabbergasted that he'd even bother. What?
Oh, I'm surprised it took this long for him to get there.
Fuck.
Yeah, usually you pull out the Freemasons right up front. This is.
What the fuck?
All righty.
Also, drink on the Freemasons.
Yeah, that's addressed. RJ, what do you got?
So is he arguing that the people who laid out the Manhattan street grid back in the time of like George Washington deliberately called 33rd Street where it was, and that they specifically laid the railroad system and the new station such that it straddled the street so that the last end of it was going to be the 33rd Street?
That apparently, yes, that nefarious plan was hatched.
Yes. This is beyond Byzantine. This is Mobius strip Byzantine embedded in an onion that is now buried in mud underneath a giant cow patty that has been baked in treacle.
You know what else? I love the awesome selective bias here. Like he didn't point out 7th Avenue. No, he didn't blink at it. 8th Avenue doesn't care. 31st Street. What is that? 33rd Street. Oh my God! Someone get the president on the line.
Is he not bothering about the absence of 32nd Street? It's because it's an effing railroad station. It's really big.
Yeah.
I reject all of your disparaging of the Greek Tatarian people who are near gods.
All right, understood. Okay.
Oh, by the way, footnote.
Yes.
McKim and Mead and White. Those were the premier society architects of the period. And Stanford White, of course, was the guy that had his brains blown out in the 1906 at Madison Square Garden over a love tryst and that, just in case you needed to know about some of the sordid, pathetic, disgusting details that underlie that company.
All right. Well, a little bit of information. Throw some reality in here. Very nice. All right, Tornado, you have something to add?
I've mentioned this before. Freemason is just another way of saying wandering stone layer.
Indeed. But
I think the Masons should start charging. This Freemason thing, I think, is just ruining them.
That's a thing of the past, absolutely. All right.
No.
Moving on.
All these signs. By the way, if you haven't gotten it already, get your merch now. Because there is
By the way,
50% off discount for only 3
Stop
days.
it 1 second.
If you click on
it's not really a drink moment, but this guy needs to get some sort of award for just awful transitions. Like we go from 6-fingered Nephilim people to Mud Flood to this Masons to buy my merch.
Buy my stuff.
With absolutely
You can look like a
nothing
stupid
between.
ignoramus.
Indeed. All right.
Only $21.40.
Indeed.
Open
All right.
my mind. There's nothing inside. No, open my wallet.
All right, Jared, what do you got?
I honestly can't remember it. Oh, I remember what it was now.
Okay.
Funny you mentioned George Washington about the whole him calling Freemason thing. Washington actually was a Mason.
Oh, most of the founding fathers.
Indeed.
Bum.
The
Yeah.
plot, like the mud, thickens.
Yeah, the nefarious business club. All right.
Open my windows. There's mud flood outside.
All right, Bo, what do you got to add? And if it's you want one of these shirts, I'm booting you.
No, there's a hoodie on the right.
It is, okay, I have to say then, it is not one of these clothing garments. No, what I was thinking is that, after the, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
But yeah,
nonsense started. I think this guy could easily get tenure on the quote history unquote channel. 'Cause he's right up there.
Yeah.
They have lost all shreds. Sorry, they have lost every shred of credibility at this time. He might as well be employed by them. Ooh, maybe he's coming up with the stories.
That's possible. All right. And, looks like we got the Aussie up. What do you got?
Kiwi.
Shut up.
Love you too, Terry.
Yeah, Jared. I was just wondering why he wasn't following the theme with his 6-fingered things and he's only got 5 pylons on his building.
Because he's human.
Ah, right. See, it all makes sense now.
He didn't even think to follow a theme.
All right. And RJ, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I think it tells you how far we have sunk. That the fact that he was starting off with 6-fingered Nephilim cannibals didn't bother me as much. Or the fact that he was talking about the mud flood window conspiracy. It's this colonial style buildings worldwide. The building we just saw is not colonial style. And I would imagine that colonies would tend to build buildings that could be called colonial, but you probably couldn't find them to be, air quotes, colonial style too. So I think this guy gets to be impaled. How dare you put a Greek style building on your fake history thing and then not show any familiarity with the actual details of architectural history, you damned ignorant prick.
All right. And,
exactly.
Looks like thoughts by Jay Brown. Jay Brown's heading off. Everybody say goodnight. Good night. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
And we have
Hope you weren't offended by the stupid.
it was pretty offensive. I think that goes that no, he was offended, all right. As are we all. All right, Morton Nielsen. Super chat. Maybe another Where's Hobo competition. One of those shirts could be the prize. No, never let that happen.
Yeah, no.
And it shall not. And it shall not. Not a problem. Okay, that's everybody on the list, and here's some more stuff.
top on the redeem button, you will see the code to get your 15% off. Valid through the 9th of April. The follow.
Why my shit?
What?
Okay, I just couldn't help hearing that as and click here
Oh
and
my
you can
God.
get your 33%
Tiggy
off.
Prahe?
Oh,
What is he?
am I
What is
looking
he
at?
stealing? Library catalog cards now?
Apparently.
No,
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
okay.
only-
So we,
only if,
that's
no, only if the librarian who made that card is dyslexic.
okay,
Yeah,
so
take
Because that is not
Brahe?
that is not Chikoba's name.
it's
It
close.
says
It's probably just
T-Y-P-E.
abbreviated.
For which the crater is named.
It's typo, Brahe. So it's typo.
Typo
isn't
Brahe,
it? It's
yeah,
Tycho,
right.
isn't it? Is it? Is I the last name? Is it? Bra? I've heard it's. I've from some people. I've heard it's pronounced just Bra.
Yeah, well, it
Is
is.
it, is it Tycho?
The-
It's,
the-
is
the
it
correct-
Tycho Bra?
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay,
and
he's
their
basically
lesser known
a Danish-
brother, Typo Brahe.
Yes.
since he was staying kind of Danish, but he didn't live in Denmark. But anyway, he's still it's a okay. He is Danish for all intents and purposes. The name to pronounce, the way to properly pronounce it is Tycho Brahe.
Ah.
So you're not far off.
All right.
Just think Brazil.
Wait.
Yeah. Brahe.
You sure? If you said the first name was Tugo?
No.
Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe one of us is just. It's something in the system. Can you say it one more time?
Tycho Brahe. Yeah.
Tycho.
Tycho.
Yeah,
It's
he
not
was
a
the
regular
sixth March
Danish
brother.
name, by the way. Yeah, it's not a regular Danish name, and I don't think it was back then either. He's
And
not.
he ended up as the
100%
king's
Danish.
astrologer and astronomy nut, and I think
Hmm.
lost his nose in a duel or something, so he had a brass one replacing
is
it.
correct.
He was a kind of a jerk,
What a guy!
but a very talented scientific one.
I see.
He had his own. No, never mind. He was a character.
Yeah.
But also, I'm more wondering how. Again, this apparently the master of transitions. He is some sort of. What? Some sort of.
Yeah,
note-
what is this about?
Well, you
I
know
mean,
what?
I would assume it's something by. Whatever.
A note.
Brass
Volume
nose guy.
1.
The
Page 69.
8-digit name on the the 8-digit number on the end of the typed text there. That does look like I don't know what that system is called, but a standard library indexing system.
Yeah, it does. I hope he makes some sort of connection to this from up to other material.
Might.
Well, hey, someone,
Everything's been tied together
how about
so well so far.
yeah. How about if one of you who do not have a computer that's about to commit suicide could verbatim
Alright, fine, I'm
type
on
in
it.
that stuff and see if you can find anything. If not,
I
take
think that's
some of
his
it
years
away
of
and-
birth and death.
Oh yeah, the thing next to the
No.
taggy, it looks like his
V1.
birth and death date.
Yeah.
1516,
But it says from between page 69
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm on it.
and 108 on astronomy.
Or,
I was right. I was right for someone
Volume
to
one, page 69. Nice.
and it's volume 1 of something, so presumably there was a whole bunch, which would be understandable. So it could be God knows who, history of astronomy, and it's just a note.
Early something.
I think he's flipped it around. That there was something information on the other side that was the reason for the card, and that he's flipped it around. And there's a note, volume 1, blah blah blah, which for some inexplicable reason he wants his audience to see.
But you know what?
Well,
maybe
it
he's going to
wouldn't
explain
come
I'm
that.
curious as to when this photo was taken and at which library, if it is a library.
It would
Yeah.
be, if those are years indeed, they would kind of cover the mud flood periods. I believe that Kyle died in the mud flood.
All right. So
Boy,
what's
he
he?
lost his nose.
So is he going to
was
spin?
caught
All right.
by
So is
a
he?
giant window coming by him from a house.
So he's going to spin this card around, and there's going to be mud on it, and that's the proof, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're
Yeah,
going for? All
there we
right.
go.
No,
All
you
right.
can see it. It's right there. There's a drop of mud right there. We can see it right
Oh,
here.
all
What are you talking
right.
about? It's right
Well,
there.
It just similarly looks like a hole.
You know, much as I'm enjoying us spending the entire night on this goddamn card, I think before it gets any angrier, we should call on the Angry Eagle and see what he has to add. Sir, what do you got?
Is anyone else suddenly craving a cheese pastry?
All right, I see what you did there, and I don't appreciate it personally.
All right, moving on. Damn it.
Following pictures are from Jesse Benson from San Diego, and he visited the San Diego Central Library Rare Book Room. And look at that giant book.
That's
this
a
is
big
the
book.
Blau Atlas.
Giant
And I think I showed you the
Wait, no, pause
Tartaria
it, by the
map.
way.
Book, but a big book.
Book. Not a book.
The absolute size of this book. Absolute unit.
Hey,
Yeah,
settle
not half,
down.
but the
This-
absolute.
this is-
Yeah. What?
This is your proof here.
Alrighty, Jonathan's come. Let's see, Terry, what do you got?
Well, it's all about perspective. The other books could have been just really small.
Yeah, that is true. All right, or maybe we're just really close to this book. All right, here we go. More stuff.
Before, but it's interesting that you can just go into the library and have a look at it yourself in San Diego. And what I was really intrigued by is to find the Caspian Sea, and I wanted to compare it to what we can find now on Google Maps. So here's the
Oh,
Caspian
dear.
Sea
Unreasonable.
from this old map, and here is the Caspian Sea now. But it doesn't really seem to be looking like as it is on the old map. So perhaps it is the Black Sea, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Colors.
All right.
I mean,
Hill, what do you got?
I mean, go figure. Maps based on satellites are better than maps based on. I mean,
Walking.
a time before
Walking
literally
around
the telescope invented.
Yes. Shocking. I know. All right. And, Jesus, what proof is this?
They're cartographers, not wizards.
What is this?
Or are they?
40%.
Dun, dun.
I see the problem here. 40% alcohol by volume. Okay.
No.
I did not know that.
Are you sure it doesn't say 33%?
No, it does not. It's definitely 40. And I did not know that when I brought this for movie night. I think perhaps that might have been unwise. All right, Squirrel, what do you got? Squirrel
Absolutely
has
nothing.
That is riveting, Squirrel.
Been
I love
raptured.
it.
Squirrel has silence.
Okay, also, I mean,
He's looking for nuts.
so this is apparently by a book, some volume.
Okay,
that,
okay.
well, over
I've managed to get the problem worked out.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a whole thing going on here.
Okay.
Accuracy
I agree.
of maps is from before the time of like significant amounts of surveying equipment is how they call that, less than reliable.
Okay.
The entire idea of surveying didn't really come into its own until very near the Enlightenment. Although it was possible to do these things beforehand, the amount of accuracy you can even possibly hope for is really close to zero. Good enough for sailors, but not good enough to make a map for today. Just wow! You're gonna compare an old map to a new map? Then yeah, I want to look at exactly what technology was available. Can I slap this guy like completely stupid now?
Please.
Well, there's a reason
I
he's
wanna slap him.
there's a reason he
Apparently-
stays somewhat far away from us. All
I
right.
mean, also, the map is apparently from Danish guy. It's apparently from his one of his volumes on astronomy for some reason, which is, I mean, sure, but I don't see. But again, transitions. Like, why should we care if Bryce, if he has a map in his book about astronomy, which has the Caspian Sea slightly differently than we know it today? Like, who cares? Like,
Considerably differently, actually.
We could hold out hope that it's going to be explained momentarily, but we've learned.
Actually, you know what? I can tell you why you would have a map in a book on a map of the Earth in a book on astronomy, and so you can indicate the place you were standing when you took the readings.
Well, I'm guessing he wasn't standing in the Caspian Sea, though.
Oh, who knows?
Well, no, but he could have been standing on one of the shores. Also, note that as a result of these things, this thing called tectonic drift, plates moving around, a map today and a map 400 years ago are going to be substantially different, regardless of the technology you have available.
Huh. All right.
I mean, anyway,
Well,
Because the plates move. It's a thing.
I just wanted to make a point.
Yes.
Oh, is there still more people buzzing in?
Yes, actually there are.
Oh, my bad. Never mind.
All right. Terry, what do you got?
I didn't mind waiting. You were covering all the bases to save me saying anything about maps and how they were mapped back in the day with the ships doing their type of stuff. But as long as he didn't go down the road and saying yes, Google Maps is the proof of flat Earth.
Well, it's round now, actually.
It may be coming. We don't know. We have no idea what to expect in the rest of this video. All right, let's see. RJ, what do you got?
I don't know why Smiling Jack is restricting himself just to Caspian Sea. I mean, I have seen
Jack now. Is that what you're calling him?
Yeah. I've seen maps, you know, that showed that the Earth was square and had Jerusalem in the middle, and I have noticed a severe absence of giant serpents and flaming things and people with eyeballs in the middle of their stomach and other things that have been clearly indicated on the maps of old. So I think there was a lot of change going on in this mud flood thing.
I mean, if you just want a really clear example, for example, the map that Columbus used when he was sailing, when he accidentally bumped into America.
Got to Ohio?
The map he was yeah, when he, basically he landed in Ohio. So the map he was using, the most what's the word I'm looking for? Advanced, the most complete one at the time. It was by a man named what was it?
Amerigo
Vespucci.
Vespucci. Amerigo
Yes.
Vespucci.
That's the one.
It was on acid.
Yeah, that one. But anyway, if you look at it and compare it to a modern map, you'll see it's way off. I mean, it's the best they could do at the time, but it's nothing like what we would recognize today.
It's only 3,000 miles from Europe to China.
I mean, we would expect a map of today to look kind of different to one of way back when, because technology for today, especially for this sort of thing, is really good, especially because we have tons of, like, for example, like satellites, which can take pictures of them proper.
Some of the people who made maps in the old days were just as stupid as the guy that made this video.
Indeed. Alrighty, and it appears Jen has
the
something
only
to
thing
add.
they were stupid, RJ, is they
Jen
lack the knowledge.
and only Jen. What do you got?
The Tartarians had their own unique system of measurements, and when they drew those maps, they were trying to integrate with the Europe at large that existed at that time. And there was just a mix up between which units we're using, one way or the other, and so there's this confusion with how it was drawn. It's actually very accurate. It's just a misinterpretation of the data.
Is it that whole imperial metric? Is it that? Is it like the imperial metric thing, that conflict?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, understood.
So I'm not all the way off from talking about the Six Fingers versus with the base 12 nonsense.
No,
you're using a base 12 system.
Yeah, you switch from measuring in cubits to stupids.
All right. Anyway,
Speaking of stupid, what's this rating on the Jeranism scale so far?
Oh, I think this is going about
I don't think it's
4.2.
registering.
all right. Here's more stuff.
Not high enough.
Moving on.
But even if it was the Black Sea, then it is quite different. There's a small lake at the top of the Black Sea, and there is nothing here except of this very, very small pond. And if you zoom back out on the old map, we should see these two large seas, the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea, but we actually don't. Here is the Caspian Sea or the Black Sea. I guess it's probably the Black Sea, but then where is the Caspian Sea? So they did some kind of earthworks here, some kind of restructuring. Looks like.
Earthworks going on. Alrighty. Bo, what do you got? Earthworks.
Yeah. He was talking about this lake thing. About that Black Sea. Yeah. Judging by the map I'm using, and yes, it happens to be Google, but who cares? It's not a lake. It's the Sea of Azov. A-Z-O-V. Sea of Azov.
Okay.
Because facts matter.
I would imagine, and I don't see where we're going. Okay, so you drew the map wrong. What's the issue here? Earthworks. All right. Thank you, Bill.
Mudworks, just not for us.
Indeed. Uh-oh. Morton, what's Morton got? Morton, thank you very much. Super chat. Wait. Wait, did Ken Ham get it wrong this whole time? The arc is measured in stupids, not cubits? Cubits.
Nice more.
So you better ask him about that. All right, we will do that very thing.
Since
All
you
right.
are a valued commenter, you might just
Yes,
use it.
yes.
Don't
Who
you guess,
would
man?
have thought? And why am I not on Twitter? I was blocked like in the first 30 seconds of commenting, but over on Facebook, I'm a valued commenter. All right, Hill, what do you got?
Okay, I mean, first of all, they have apparently amazing terraforming technology to apparently literally reshape the continent and make a new sea. But I think I find the more fascinating is, like, honestly, looking at this map, I honestly can't tell what it's supposed to be, like, what even continent. I assume this is Asia. I assume.
Yeah,
But
well, there's
honestly, it's
China
not-
Igni Fars.
It looks
off
like
on the right.
I would assume this is written in Latin, so I would assume. So I'm not even sure how he's identifying any of what's supposed to be in this map, let alone assigning it to where it is in real life. He can't even say whether this lake or this body of water in the image. He can't in the map, that is. He can't even say what sea it's supposed to be. Let alone, I mean, so he would need to be able to. He would need to be able to match things up first with proper geographic features in order to say that this has been different. For all he knows, he could be looking. This could be a map of South Africa and saying, "Oh well, why is it so different? They must have terraformed the land." Like you need to establish what you're looking at first and where you're looking and what exactly you're looking at before you can say what's changed. You can't say what's different and what's changed if you don't even know what you're looking at in the first place.
Agreed, what we've learned from this.
More contemporary
Good,
maps, and you can actually see Tataria listed on them.
I see.
This is real. Tataria existed.
All right, and there's some other stuff on here that we're not really paying attention to. And that whole Nephilim argument from earlier. Count the fingers on the figures here. Look at how huge those people are, and that camel.
Yeah,
That's
gigantic.
That's got to be a Nephilim
That's
camel.
the biggest damn. My God, that camel is 1,000 miles long.
Unbelievable. All right. Anyway. All right, RJ, what do you got?
Yeah, well, if he had just turned a few pages on, he would have seen the illustration of the sign in Latin, of course, for the coming soon attraction, Caspian Sea, primo beachfront property. Please contact Donaldus Trumpus in Mar-a-Lago, Florida.
Indeed. All right.
Hashtag Trump Florida, man. What?
Is it just me, or does this look like this might be closer? This might be India as opposed to.
It's very possible in the way that people in the 17th century didn't know what the hell it looked like.
I mean, because I know, I do
can't
recall
be.
for example, in the Columbus map, for example, that India is rather misshapen, but in this, the shape of this looks a bit, at least vaguely to me, more like India than, I mean, what was he like? Whatever, like a section of the Mediterranean that he was pointing towards.
May we add cartography as another field that Smile and Jack needs to study
especially
up
also
on first?
that's China on the right. This isn't the Mediterranean, because China isn't on the Mediterranean.
Never has
Well,
been.
now it isn't.
Yeah, of course, yes, they terraformed it. They took China and they moved it several hundreds of kilometers over to the
Well,
side.
you put it on little
Several
wheels,
thousand
and you hear this.
Why don't
as they
why
push
don't we
it.
take China and push it somewhere else?
Yeah, I can think of a place to push it, and it involves a sixth finger and Smile and Jack.
Yeah, that's what those big people are for. They actually haul China off several pages to the right.
That's
and Harry
what.
Ward,
Yes.
Mongolia's on the bottom. Well, that's between Mongolia and China.
All right, and looks like Tornado has something to add here. Tornado, what do you got?
Yeah, something about this map just doesn't work.
Okay. You think?
Everything about this map doesn't work.
Probably, I would say. But anyway,
And the
okay.
fact they're using it to present something else
Yep.
means they're lying.
Yeah, well, what's the point? We've got an old map that's inaccurate. I'm good with saying that, but somehow I suspect there's going to be some different assertion.
For his argument to work, he has to say that this is an accurate map and it's literally perfect. In order to say that it's changed from this, like the Earth has literally fucking been terraformed in order to make, for God knows what reason, to make it into what it is in modern day.
And he has said precisely that just before we stopped it, if you recall.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I know. Don't try and figure it out. It's not. No, it's not worth it.
Someone says interrupt something.
What?
Yeah, Mom NATO had to
I think
interrupt.
it was. I thought I heard that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What I see is
She needs to come closer to the mic.
seriously not just inaccurate, but even back then they had explored China a little bit.
Mhm.
So saying that that's accurate is like saying whoever believes that is not an oxymoron.
Okay.
Ms. Tornado Pelt, you are welcome to come closer so we can hear your lovely voice better.
Indeed.
More than welcome. We would like to
What was
hear
that,
your input,
Karis?
actually.
I was inviting your mother to come closer so that we can hear her a little bit better.
Yeah, it was a little bit quiet with the, but we heard, so
We got it.
Indeed.
Next
All
time,
right.
that's it for next time thing. But in any case, I guess we just should move on. Assuming there's
Yeah.
no one else buzzed, we should.
No,
wait
all
for him
the-
to
Oh
make the
no,
point.
there are plenty of us.
That somehow
Oh, and
doesn't
by the
surprise
way,
me.
I'm going to change my name in the buzzer to Recaffeinato.
Lovely. All right. Very good. Are you saying that there's nobody else showing up on the buzzer, Jared? Are you saying you buzzed?
Oh no, I'm saying I am buzzed.
Oh, all right. Fine.
Oh, okay. I see that.
Oh, great.
I got you.
Okay, thanks, Morton. Thanks a lot, Morton.
Because no caffeine. Now
Super chat coming up. Morton Nielsen, once again. In the interest of stalling, could RJ explain the evolution of fake history?
No, RJ just needs to explain the history of the world, part 1.
A kick-ass movie. All right. And on that note, moving on, we shall.
It wasn't natural. Next thing I would like to look at is some star forts, and here is a
What the fuck?
recommendation.
What the actual
Here's the
fuck?
Wikipedia entry for
Starfort.
Let him make the claim, especially seeing as how I only live 90 minutes away from this place.
From the starport.
All right.
You can visit it.
Let's see what the starports are all about.
I've gotten drunk there a few
All right, let's let him say what the starports are all about. Here we go.
the Castle Island in South Boston, in the Boston Harbor. And here are a couple of images of the Star Fort. So there is also a obelisk here. Why not? And an old
Drink.
Why not?
drawing
Yeah.
from
Why not?
70.
Just drink.
All right.
You know,
all right,
obelisk. Why not? Everyone loves a good.
Yeah,
Everyone loves a good obelisk.
Of course. Go ahead, Hill.
If that's a starport, then that means that every civilization pre-spaceflight is
A starport.
Indeed.
So
Naturally, you build a
That's how-
starport to resemble like an
the
old
one
fort.
from before was, but this is a freaking castle.
No, that pillar was not an obelisk. It's something to take a reading off of when you're coming into port so that you don't run into rocks. and
Wait, for-
reefs.
Actually, no.
Mud.
That one that they showed at Castle Island there actually is a memorial. It was not there until recent history.
Okay,
You know,
so
obelisk.
definitely
Why
not
not?
Yeah.
starport.
You mean post? Oh,
Definitely.
all right. So it was not used by the spaceships to navigate to this island. You're saying? All right.
Right.
Got it. This was one of the other ones. Okay.
I'm just baffled by this. This entire person baffles me. It's like an endless cacophony of bafflement. Like don't even bother trying to connect this to whatever the previous
Is he
topic was. I've
baffling you?
already forgotten. But like, okay, I mean, somehow we've gone from, again. I want to recap. My memory's a bit fuzzy. So we've gone from Nephilim to six-fingered people.
Yes.
To we've gone from there then to mud
Uh-huh.
to a building being demolished to masons
Uh-huh.
to maps to whatever the hell this is gonna be. I'm just.
It's
Fuck it, I give up.
it's kind of hard to follow, isn't it?
No, that's Castle William.
Well, you've about covered everything.
This
I mean,
is a
like-
summation video.
All right.
This is the entire history of the world, I guess.
So it would seem. All right. Squirrel, you have something to throw in here?
Yeah, Hill.
Oh,
what
look
you're
at Darren Marsh's comment.
what you're thinking
Find
here
Richard Hyde
is
scum
you've actually
Nephilim.
missed the theory, and that is his intention here is to baffle us with bullshit.
I see. That could very
I
well
just-
be it.
It's like he's like he's never been introduced to the concept of making making a piece of work like this with an actual structured narrative. He's like, oh, by the way, thing, other thing. It's like he's playing Uno, and with each different card is like a different fucking topic, and nothing's connected to the last one. It's like every single fucking card is draw 4. Fuck.
This is documentary
Actually,
diarrhea.
His problem here is making shit is uppus. He has no idea what a script is either.
Alrighty.
Where's Sean Hofford when you need him?
He's
making shit up.
Indeed. All right. And here's some more. We're gonna learn all about this starport. Here we go.
What does that even mean?
In 89, here's an aerial view from the World War II times.
This guy's
and
cursor
here's
creeps
Castle
me out.
Island on the map. Zoom.
Oh, what? Already?
A pentagram.
Oh my.
I bet that is gonna be literally what he says.
Chrysler Company.
All right. Somebody.
That's not a freaking starport. That's just a fancy-looking building. You know, it could be designed that way for aesthetics.
That's not when the
It's
Pentagon
actually-
got flooded?
It's
Actually, yeah. So
That's a starport.
It is a star fort. The way so each of the 5 points you see there, the reason why they're designed that way is to increase the defensive fortification around each gun mount.
Yeah,
and
that's
to
a
get
battlement.
to get the most accurate and also the widest potential field of fire. I've been inside that thing. You actually have a lot of room to move the guns around, surprisingly so. And the interesting bit, all of that pavement that you see, landfill, reclamated land, man-made land that was put there.
Didn't the guns also be? Weren't they on wooden rails so that they could slide?
Yes, so they could move them, angle them, and also account and deal with the recoil.
Yes.
Reload without reload out of sight as well, probably.
Yep.
And by the way, this exact shape of fort is a design that it was so effective back then that you can literally see it all over the world.
Get more evidence that they
dating back well before that was made.
Yeah.
All right. That is okay.
Yeah, it's almost as if good designs get used everywhere, and old designs are basically selected against.
I am just praying that he doesn't literally just say it's a pentagon and then just kind of move on.
Well,
and doesn't mention all the other, thousands. I don't know how many there are, but hey, let's go with it.
Don't mention the
Thousands
fact that it's not
thousands of other farts. Sorry, forts that are shaped like this.
I mean, don't mention the fact that it's not a regular pentagon, and don't mention the fact that it's a shape, and it has. Fuck, I
a
give
shape.
up. I give up.
Wait a minute. He was just talking about terraforming before. Not terraforming. Whatever.
No,
he
literally
called it.
terraforming.
Yes, that's what he's talking about before, and I wonder if he's going to make the connection. That's what they did in Boston, as Jared mentioned, and also that's why it's another reason the streets are so screwed up in Boston. I wonder if he's going to make that link.
The reason why the streets are so screwed up in Boston is because they were quite literally cow and walking paths, and they decided, screw it, we'll just pave it.
Well, yes, there was that, and then as the city expanded, new roads going around the new area. Alrighty, RJ has something to add as well. It seems.
If old Bessie can make it through the streets, your Volkswagen can make it through the streets.
Yeah. It is clear that Smiling Jack has not broad enough imagination to see what is literally under his nose. Look to left of Starfort, to the famous mud parking lot.
Wait, his left or
All
our
of the
left?
parking lots of the world
No,
were
RJ, his-
made after the thing as they paved over all of the mud and called them parking lots. The conspiracy is real.
Wait, RJ, his left or our left?
Oh, it doesn't matter by this time.
Just anybody with any sense has left by this time.
So hang on.
Just
leave. Yeah, Jared?
Well, actually, he has
Hang on.
all left because he's not right.
For anyone who is entertaining the thought of actually going to visit this place, Kitsune Cavalier can concur with me. If you are craving actually a good lobster roll, that shack at the right end of that parking lot has great ice cream and lobster rolls.
Oh, all right.
Where you can tell them about the mud flood theory.
Yes, obviously.
You just want to be careful because you might run into a prominent flat earther there named Richie from Boston.
Joy. All right.
I have yet to actually encounter a flat earther, and well, actually, I would say I wouldn't say in the wild because the internet is the internet is their wild. I've yet to encounter one out in the real world.
Oh, I've encountered them.
Maybe one a ways ago.
There was one right down at the boardwalk in Point Pleasant here in New Jersey, evangelizing, and then there was a whole flock of them down in Ocean City. It was very entertaining.
Evangelizing
what is
is just the right
for
word.
a flock of flurfers? What should we call them?
I'm not. Well, it's got to be.
I have an idea.
Nah.
Yeah.
I have an idea for what you should call a flock of flurfers.
All right, what would you suggest?
It's a money convention.
No, I was going to say flocking idiots.
All right.
I don't know if
How about a smudge? A
Flock
smudge
doesn't really
of,
capture it.
flurfers.
Smudge is good. I like smudge. If there's more than 5, let's set the limit. If it's more than 5, it's a smudge. I like it.
Smudge of flurfs.
And if you have only like 2 or so, it's a smudgelet.
Oh, and Hill knows this one. Hill, what's a bunch of pugs walking together?
Oh, that's a grumble.
It's a grumble.
Is it just the first person who coins something and is loud enough to get it spread, or is it the
Those are
person
great.
who come up with what? I mean,
I you know what? I'm not even concerned because it's so appropriate. A grumble of bugs. All right, moving on.
See, I love this. It's like you have like a murder of crows, a shiver of sharks. I don't know what it is for like anything else, but like they're usually
A
so great.
gaggle of geese.
Indeed.
Oh, a pod of whales.
Yes, and dolphins. Dolphins have
I
pods.
love gaggle. Gaggle's my favorite.
what is the bass thing? That's one of the more funny ones. Oh, I can't remember. Damn it.
How about a
I had
vomit
some
of
of
Tide
it.
Pods?
And it's not a cave of bats, but
No, what you call a group of flurfers is escaped.
Hang on.
From the Mental Institute.
There you go. And
I got the perfect joke.
Oh,
Why
wow.
were the crows all in court? Why were there a large amount of crows in court?
don't know.
They were convicted for murder.
Ooh.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh dear, where
I
are
get it.
those crickets when you need
God damn. See, I was hoping we weren't going to need the
I
crickets.
understand.
All right.
To put a movie, I get that
Are we
reference.
delaying well?
We're doing a fine
Very
job,
well.
but unfortunately we have to move on. So, here we go.
Right.
I mean, we can really see that this is a Star Fort. Now, I haven't talked about Star Fort before in this
Okay.
channel,
Tell
but
us.
I think it's time. You know, I think no one can really say 100% what they are for. So, what I say is only a guess. And I'm going...
I do believe this is a drink call, and I'm sure Jared has an opinion on that.
I believe so, and oddly enough, he's first on the list. Jared, what do you got? Tell us about this great mystery that no one knows.
We know they're there, but we don't know what they're for. Coastal defense, maybe?
I mean, that seems pretty far-fetched.
I don't know. A fortified position near the opening of a harbor that was crucial for trade for a young nation. I mean, no. Why would you want to defend that?
It does seem like a complete mystery. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, or just it couldn't possibly
Yeah,
be
it's
a
almost as
lead
if they wanted to
flinging
make sure their
device.
ships could come in without being shot at.
All right, and Hill, what do you got?
I mean, Jared mainly took the. I mean, I wonder what is the true purpose of these forts. Let me
Star
ponder
forts.
on that. But I mean, yeah. Also, it feels it's rather arbitrary to call it a star pattern. I mean, basically, as long as it's any number that's not like, as long as it has any number of points that's not 1 or maybe even 4, it's gonna have any kind of weird star-looking pattern. I mean, it feels weird. 5 feels like an arbitrary number to start call a star fort. I mean, if it's a
actually,
fort,
you could do Star Force with just 4 points.
That's what was
They-
with
they
5.
are
That's where he
called
started with the
Star
smudge of
Forts.
flivers. Yes.
They are called Star Forts because they were the place that when the city was under attack, they would bring all the celebrities to protect them all at once.
yes, we shall keep the famous people
I don't
safe
know
here.
why I have to explain this stuff to you. Guys. Just- you're
You know,
educated.
after you say
No.
it, it seems so simple. We should have. All right, Diana, what do you got?
What is the purpose of these forts? We'll never. It's lost to history. We'll never know.
Yeah, it's a mystery. All right, Diana, what do you got?
Yeah, it's if you're going to make this thing a centerpiece of at least this section of the film, why are you putting it there when you don't even know what to say about it? You can say it's there and that's it. I mean, I don't get it. I haven't got the entire film from beginning to end. You haven't made a single point since you started. That's fake.
This is Smiling Jack we're talking
That is
about
true.
here. We're not going to
Okay,
get...
yeah, I'm unaccustomed to this person. This is the first time I've seen him, and I hope it's the last.
All right. This one shall be
Is it
stricken from the
me,
list.
Or are you not exactly pleased with this individual?
This shall be stricken.
No, not at all.
All right. And Tornado, oddly enough, you're next on the list. What do you got?
So, yeah, it's almost as if people wanted a place where their ships could go without having to worry about being shot at. It's almost as if you wanted to protect a part of a harbor, you'd put a fort there. Please, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that exactly the entire point of a fort?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right. RJ, what do you got?
I thought it was to have sleepovers in with flashlights and dogs.
These are
Wow,
the
what a
giant,
strange voice he has.
yes,
Oh,
these
shut
are
up,
the
Uncle.
giant nurseries where they were gestating the Chrysler logo.
Ah. All right.
RJ, can you do me a favor and never say the word gestate ever again?
Gestate.
All right. We have a super
And
chat.
when you see what I do when I have an obelisk with it.
We have
Moist.
No, don't gestate
Okay.
the obelisk. Whatever you do.
Okay, see, if I say the magic word super chat, everybody clam up.
No, not the clam thing.
Get the clam thing going again. All right, we have a super chat from Cajun Crustacean. Thank you very much. Dude has a point. It's on his dunce cap. Quite accurate. All right. And, let's see. RJ, now it's your turn.
Oh, I already put my thing in.
Okay, just remember, 40% alcohol by volume. Just keep that in mind. Bo, what do you got?
Yeah, I just have to state the obvious here.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did was the five-fingered people unable to do it, not even the six-fingered people were able to count to 5 and still call it a fort. What the hell is going on there?
Okay, you know exactly. Okay, Bo, you know exactly how to leave the call. Is all I'm going to say. You know exactly what button to press.
All right. Anyway.
Wait. Also, is he actually? I just realized as Bo was talking. As stupid as what he said, it gave me enlightenment.
That's so nice.
So is he drawing a connection between? Is he drawing a connection?
Fivefold
Is the connection here between? So there's the six-fingered people, you know, the Nephilim cannibals. Is there a connection between that and these forts because they're it's a pentagon? It has 5 sides.
Yes.
Might as well.
Oh my God! Look, actually, no. From this angle, the fort is showing us its palm.
Yeah.
So it's not this fort. We know is not a Nephilim.
Everything
5
connects.
points, 5 fingers. Hey.
Yeah.
This fort is not a Nephilim.
There is a naked person in the chat.
Oh.
The 6th finger is for butt sex. What the hell, Crypto?
All right. Anyway.
What? I'm sorry. What the actual fuck?
Indeed. And Jared's been waiting a long time. Jared, what do you got?
So another addition for those who were wondering, the obelisk that was shown before and has now been mentioned before.
Yes.
If you look to in between the top and upper right point, that shadow, that is where the obelisk is located. And it is actually a monument for a former famous shipbuilder in the Boston area named Donald McKay, who is actually
where that little angle iron pier comes out.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
actually on the inner side of that walking path around the entire thing.
Or it's the
it's a monolith
island trying to do glad hands.
Maybe.
All right. Yes.
But yeah, it was a monument for one of the famous shipbuilders during the time of sail that did his construction there in the Boston Harbor area.
There's a war memorial in an obelisk in either Arkansas or Missouri. I passed on my trip vacation there. So apparently this is done occasionally in other places.
You know,
It's not like there's a huge one that they kind of took influence
named for
from
some
in
president, wasn't
Washington
it?
D.C.
Yeah, that's the Lincoln Memorial, right? Yeah, that's the one.
No,
yeah,
sure.
No, I thought it was the Jefferson.
No, it's the Washington Monument.
I think it's the Anderson one actually.
Jared,
If you're talking about that giant obelisk, that's the Washington Monument.
Why is there
No,
no?
that's definitely-
Why is there
that's
no? Why is there no Taft monument?
Look,
All right.
Yeah,
look,
or
Tornado.
Franklin Pierce, you know?
All I'm saying is Tornado. You can't.
TARDIS monument.
You can't get into my head with those fake history lies. We all know that's actually the Anderson Monument.
You know what? I'm just happy as hell that we're getting, even though we're watching this stupid thing, we're getting to hear some things that actually matter. That kind of breaks this nonsense up, doesn't it?
When is
All
that going
right.
to happen?
Hey, Dice Drake,
Yes.
I wish to correct my friend Hillel, who's saying I can't correct him on my fake history lies. I would like to say, in the words of Ken Ham, I was there.
Aha.
Well, in the words of Ken Ham, also, no.
All right. Squirrel.
That's eloquent.
So-called debate. Yeah.
Not eloquent.
All right. Squirrel, what do you got? Oh, Jared, you're not done? Go ahead.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
In the words
Oh,
of
it
Ken
wasn't
Ham, innocent.
What?
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Is that?
In the words of Ken Ham, moving on.
Oh, wait, no. In the word of Kent Hovind, look at all the water.
Yes, indeed.
Water.
All right, Squirrel, what do you got?
Apparently not quiet. I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, I must excuse myself. I have a
Okay.
thunderstorm coming down on my head,
Okay.
and I'd kind of like to shut the machine down.
Oh, I never.
Don't get struck by lightning, not unintentionally.
Oh.
Yeah, I had
Let's
that
see.
issue earlier.
Martin says Mark figured it out. Where's Mark Beiser? Mark Beiser. Scrolling. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm trying to find Mark's comment.
Oh, I found one from Doorknob Head. In the words of Ken Ham, it goes where?
Donut Head, do not elaborate, please. I've eaten my
And
breakfast.
on
Oh,
that,
here.
I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
On the
Good
off
night,
chance that
Squirrel.
Paul's still listening.
All right. Oh, here it is. I think I found it.
Yeah, I would say on the off chance that Paul is still listening, you're welcome for all the content.
All right. Here's.
There's been content this episode.
Yeah. Here's.
I am the look, fellas. We are the quintessence of content.
So it would seem.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, I found Mark's comment that explains it all. Wait, the island is roughly triangular, indicating Illuminati, and the pentagram is for demon summoning. It's an Illuminati demon portal. Okay, there. All right, there we go. Very good.
Plausible.
And
But
Jared, go ahead.
I have a question for Hill. I mean, if we're the quintessence of this, then who are the paladins?
I'm not going to dignify that
I think
as a
you
response.
need a footnote on
mainly
that one.
because I
boy.
don't get the reference. But aside from that, I
Ultron?
also get the impression that even if I did get the reference, I would be wagging my finger at you at the moment.
The paladins of Voltron?
What's a
The Paladin-
Voltron?
The Paladins were a group of guys in the West who went around with guns.
What's a
Paladin, I
Voltron?
was thinking about the
Hello,
M109.
you sad little
Is
man.
that like a regular? Is that like when you plug in? Is that you plug in your thing into the wall and it's not just volts? It's like extra volts.
All right.
Yeah,
Volts
it's
plus a little
That's
bit.
revolting.
You've never heard of Voltron.
Who? Is that?
Oh, you said
Wow.
You
uncultured
said
child.
it's for the human being.
You have even less of a life than I do, apparently.
Oh, you mean discount Power Rangers?
They predated the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
good
that's what I
sir.
said. Discount Power Rangers.
And this has what to do with this?
Transformers.
Sai, we're
That
Sai,
we need
we're
to
keeping up.
spank
Sai,
Hilo in a way
Sai, the
that he does
longer
not like.
Sai, the longer I pretend not to know who Voltron is, the longer we don't have to watch the video.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
All right.
You just revealed your cunning plan. That was
No,
not
I don't.
a good
I
plan.
don't. Tornado, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. You know what? just to see what happens, why don't we hit play, shall we?
Yeah. Maybe by some miracle.
Here we go. It's all going to make
The video would
sense.
delete itself.
It's all going to make sense with enough alcohol. You'll see. Moving on.
I'm going to tell you my opinion.
Oh, good.
And again, this will be just an opinion. I
Yeah.
think this was
Drink.
some kind of
Hold on.
sacred geometry that
quick.
was protective
Oh,
for
no,
the
stop.
people
Oh, wait,
within.
stop. What the fuck? No, make it stop. Okay, first of all, Tornado called something, first of all.
Tornado, go ahead.
Tornado did make a call.
Yes, I'm just presenting this as my opinion. Then why are you presenting it as fact? This is just like Jism.
Actually, I was gonna say this is a cheap cop out that Spirit and Science uses a lot, saying, "Oh well, I'm just speculating. It's just my opinion," and thinking that just because you say that, you don't have to back it up in any way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
nonsense.
because even if you're saying, "Oh, it's just my opinion," you're presenting it as fact, which means you need to provide evidence. Otherwise, your opinion means nothing.
Stupid.
Quite
I
true.
mean, just because it's your opinion doesn't mean you don't have to support it. Like it's my opinion that you're wrong. Checkmate, atheists. Also, could you go back like 5 seconds? I swear I heard the word Jew, and I wanted to make sure I
All right.
didn't just hallucinate that.
All right, let's go back and
I don't
check.
think he did. but
Here we go. That should be
it's a
about
dialect thing.
5 seconds ish. Here we go.
Sacred geometry that was protective.
No, sacred geometry.
Okay, geometry. Okay.
Yeah, geometry. It's just it was just an accent issue. All right, here we go.
For the people
Yeah, okay.
within. That could be.
Oh, super chat.
Wait. Go back. Drink. Did he just say sacred geometry?
Yes,
Yep.
he did.
He did.
Yes, he did.
As opposed to your average run-of-the-mill geometry.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah,
So does this mean he's
Super
going
chat.
to?
Yep. That is true. Thank you. Morton, thank you very much. Hit X, we're getting dangerously close to spirit science territory. Ew, icky.
Yeah.
Yes, quite
Yeah, we
true.
are.
All right, yes.
This is kind of bizarre. It's like saying it's basically saying that no one in the modern world is allowed to build a structure or have anything that is a pentagon because 5 is a special sacred number or something.
No human
exactly.
being. No human being would build a structure like this.
No human being with 6 fingers
Now,
would build
hold
a
on.
structure.
Go ahead, Tornado.
I called drink.
So proceed.
So does this mean he's going to be providing things from his cosmic ring piece?
I don't know.
Or
Hard piece,
is he
maybe.
going to be pulling more stuff from his brown chakra?
If he mentions a wheel, I'm clicking the X. All right, here we go. More of this.
Perfect.
What is a
One
pentagon
option.
if not
I
a
don't know
lazy
what-
wheel?
Here we go. Moving on.
It's
Why
a
else would they
quadrangle
build
with an
in this
attitude.
Okay, I'm gonna try this once again.
We're never going to finish this thing.
We are moving on at this point in time.
Way is
Not with
definitely
that
more
attitude.
difficult to create this star pattern, this star shape. It's much easier just to build it in a square or round, but not in a star shape. So there
Drink.
How is it that? All right, very good. Let us augment the on counter. And Hill, enlighten us.
Yes, it would have been much easier to make this in the shape of a square or a round, but I mean,
Or just build
it's
one
just-
wall.
I
One
guess
wall would
for
also
this
be
partic-
easier.
For this particular pattern, I think Jared should mention this earlier. It just basically was a function of basically the what's the exact word I'm looking for? The
It's a
possible field of view of each of the individual cannons that they had
Yeah,
on
the best
each of these
possible view and-
fortifications.
yeah.
So I mean, if that's the pattern they picked, I mean, that's just the pattern they picked because form follows function, right? So they're going to build it because it's advantageous to have it in that pattern for whatever reason. That would have been easier for them to build a square or a circle. I mean, maybe, but they didn't, and they obviously did that for some sort of reason.
Yes and no. It would have been easier to build a square or rectangle shape, not a curved surface with when they were building this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always thought that a rounded surface was advantageous in a castle-like structure because it would help the cannonballs to
Medieval
bounce off.
times, yes, but not with
Well, it's
cannon.
the structural integrity, yeah. But yeah.
Part of the problem
Cannon
with
changed the need to design forts, and there's a whole history which apparently Smiling Jack knows nothing at all about.
Yeah, when they got into using the trebuchet and more powerful projectile-based siege weapons, they actually started going away from the curved surfaces because they needed to make the walls stronger, and the only way they knew how to do that then was to make them thicker.
And do you know how hard it is to get trebuchet batteries these days?
That came off as so old man shaking fist at the sky. Do you young people know how hard it is to get trebuchet batteries these days? Back in my day, you could just go down to the dollar store and buy 500 trebuchet batteries.
I thought they
Now,
used dry, I thought they
Great.
used dry cell batteries.
They still carry them at Costco though, but only in bulk.
Hey, I have a question about that. Nowadays, is it easier to get headlight fluid or elbow grease?
I get the chem-light, but I don't know.
fluid.
No, elbow grease does actually exist.
I see.
Made from real elbows.
And since we've heard, since Bo is next on the list, Bo, what have you got for us?
Something that was asked and answered partially. I thought he said, why this star pattern? You could just make that star pattern by using a circle or a square. That's actually what I almost heard, but I was probably wrong because
he was trying to speculate on why they picked this design for the building as opposed to a square or circle. Well, the circle was impractical from a building standpoint, like actually physically building it standpoint, whereas the squared off corners, as has been mentioned in chat, was actually a disadvantage when it came to protecting from direct fire. And also to ensure that your field of fire from the fort was both protected and also as accurate as possible and as wide coverage as possible. That's where you end up getting these sorts of pentagon star inspired shaped forts.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I'm not so sure about that, because if that was the case, this guy would have found out about it, at the very beginning of his research for this.
You're assuming he's done research.
The thing is, also something else is that again, the more the more sides your polygon has for this fort, obviously then the more actual guns you can put on it, because for this design you basically put the guns at the corners. So if you use a square, you're going to have
the
one.
Mandelbrot fort that has an infinite number of guns.
Oh wow! They should have. I don't know why they didn't go with that design.
Had they gone with a much more rounded design without the sharp edging, the fort would have been much more stealth against radar.
Yes. For the 18th century radar.
Go ahead. I know it's coming. Say it, especially when in flight, right?
Yes.
Wait, actually, I forget. When was this built again?
Oh wait.
Jared, when was this built?
1700s.
16.
Okay, so slightly prior to radar.
On the Big Bang index, yeah.
Well, wait a minute. No. It was slightly before the post mud flood radar, because that took a while.
Oh, okay, yes. Mud radar.
Yes.
Infamously much better than our puny air radar.
Yes, before the mud we had, absolutely. All right, RJ.
Oh yes.
You got something?
I remember those days before the mud.
Before the mud.
Stringer News mentions reminds us to think about the trebuchet.
I see. All right, RJ.
And by the way, Lockheed is building one now, and it's going to cost $18 billion a piece.
I see.
No. You said that wrong. You should say like $18 billion.
RJ, how much for the rest of the pieces?
Oh! In fact, ironically, bringing up Carl Sagan, I was reminded of the fact of what Carl Sagan had to say about Eric von Däniken. When Eric von Däniken doesn't understand something, he attributes it to space aliens. And since he understands practically nothing, he attributes everything to space aliens. Well, this man here is in that grand tradition of somebody who apparently lacks comprehension on everything.
So it would seem.
Insert Mortimer 81 video clip right here. Yeah.
Honestly, why would you? I don't think there's very few situations in which you shouldn't insert a Mortimer 81 clip here.
I would agree. And
Of course.
RJ, did you have anything additional?
Oh gosh, no, that was
All right.
the end of what I wanted to say. So you may unbuzz my buzz.
You are unbuzzed, and Diana. Diana, what have you got for us?
Yeah, I think Hill and Jared picked up most of it with the coverage on the shape of the board here. But one thing I do want to mention is that there were quite a number of trebuchets that used B cells, and I don't.
Wait, is that B with like the letter B or like B as
No,
in
with actual-
B? As in like they fired bees.
No,
That's terrifying.
They were 22.5 volts.
Yes.
And it's difficult at best to get them anymore. So can you even get those things anymore? When I was a girl, I could get them at the Radio Shack. I just haven't been looking for them.
Well, you see, if you can make your own, if you take a bunch of 9 bolts and put them together.
The problem is that any nation that used those was really embarrassed because when you actually fired them, it would go. Yum, 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 yum.
How would that sound in extreme slow motion?
Yes, Sharon. Go ahead.
But would you rather hear that or?
If it was in Danish, I would have answered.
Okay, we've lost it. We've officially lost the plot.
Yeah, really. Let's go back to the story before we wander too far off the stupid.
Before we just keep mooing at each other.
I think we wandered at putting this thing on in the first place.
Yes. All right, here we go.
Like I've wandered into an actual petting zoo.
Let's do it.
And moving on.
To be a reason why they built it that way. It could have been also a strategic way to kind of defend against enemies.
Did he just say something real?
Yes!
I like the way he
Did
said
I
it.
hear
Like,
that?
you know,
What the hell was that?
I love that. He's like, you know, it was probably built, you know, to symbolize the occult, but you know, maybe they did it for some sort of tactical reason. I'm just throwing it out there. I just spitballing.
Eventually, when you do coulda, shoulda, woulda routine, you do get it right.
So it seemed.
Tornado had a drink, but yeah.
Yeah, Tornado, what do you got?
When you do the
Yeah,
coulda,
it's
woulda,
almost
shoulda
as if they
sometimes.
built these things to defend against enemies.
Yeah, it's almost like it's
What
a
a
fortress.
fucking thoughts.
Indeed.
Almost like it's a fort of some kind.
Almost. All right, here we go. Moving on.
Sentinels or watchmen would be standing on these edges and watching who's coming from different directions. I don't know. It's really up for guesses. Let me know what you think.
It seems pretty likely.
It's a fort.
Wow.
Somebody.
Suffering from reverse.
Yes.
I don't know what it's for. I don't know
Yes.
what they do on there. They just walk around, you know, they play pinochle. Who knows what they do in a fort?
All right, what do we got now?
They use the whole apparatus to play Go Fish.
All right, let's see. Now, is he going to read this to us, or should we read it now?
Oh, I'll read it if you like.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
From Mike Hunt, I checked an old map. 1700, the Star Fort was on the island, and also a huge Star Fort where Cambridge is today. The link is a Star Fort on Dorchester Point, 1740. They were all over New England and USA.
Oh wow! All right, sounds like a conspiracy
Any
to
reason
me.
why that might be, RJ?
Oh my god.
All right, let's find out. Yes.
I love how apparently the government is assumably in on this conspiracy, and in order to just prove that, they link to .gov.
All right, here we go.
Deep state, man.
That's mud tight reasoning right there.
Yes, maybe there's an explanation forthcoming. I can't believe those words just left my mouth. Here we go.
Recommendation from the same person, Star Fort at Dorchester Point, and this is from the Library of Congress. And what I noticed here is that there is this star. Now this is
Oh
not
my
the Star
fucking
Fort.
god! Drink.
This is symbolizing
You cannot.
the cardinal directions, you know.
I cannot.
We need a Navy guy for this
Okay,
one.
guys, call me an odd number because I have literally lost the ability to even.
All right, Tornado buzzed. Tornado buzzed. What do you got?
Yeah, I think there's a perfectly valid explanation for why this thing might be star-shaped.
Okay.
Is it possible that that fleur-de-lis looking thing on the very on the very upwardmost arrow is pointing north, and this is a compass rose, which helps indicate direction on a fucking map.
Nope, aliens. It's aliens, Tornado. Sorry.
And a gigantic
Oh, that's the only
boat.
possible explanation. The only possible explanation is aliens,
Of course it
aside
is.
from the fact that it's a fucking compass rose used to mark directions on a fucking map.
Indeed, and stop saying fuck or you're booted. Anyway, that is a big ship, isn't it? All right,
It's not pointing north. It's pointing up.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that in those days there were giant zipper lines actually on the ocean.
Hey, that's a good thing for if your boat is on fire and you need to escape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember ye olden days when boats left little dotted trails wherever they went?
Exactly.
Yeah,
the good old
Wait,
days.
that little boat up in the corner is just
Exactly.
a little bit incontinent.
It's like Hansel and Gretel. You know, you leave the tracks so you know exactly where you've been.
You gotta get
Trail
home.
of boat,
Hang
boat
on.
fart.
Are you saying her name is Incontinentia?
All right, Diana, what do you got?
And in the Continental
problem yet.
Congress.
Oh man, Tornado got it with the thing over there being a compass rose. I cannot believe that he has never seen a compass rose before.
I don't think he's seen the outside of his room.
You mean his padded room?
Oh, for the love of Saint, so like, yeah, okay, so that's it. You know,
All right.
what do we have to do here?
All right, and
Nice to know that the criminally insane can have businesses where they can sell sweatshirts.
that is, it is fills us all with hope, because if we keep watching this stuff, we're gonna end up insane. All right, and Jared, what do you got?
What do you mean going to?
You know, you're all wrong. That is not a compass rose.
Okay.
It is quite clearly a Hatak, a Goa'uld mothership.
Very nice.
Close the iris.
Oh my god.
All
I
right.
don't know what you're talking about. That's clearly God, what's it called? Fuck, I don't remember the name of it. The things they're in Battlestar. I don't remember the.
Oh, the Cylons.
The Cylon,
Exactly, it's clearly a Cylon mothership.
the base stars, the
Anyone
Cylon
who's been
base
to
star.
Boston, were the little islands, do they still have the big numbers out in the ocean that identify which one's which?
The cause of innumerable shipwrecks.
Slamming into 35 when they were trying to get to that
Oh yes,
one little
and
island.
who could remember? Who could forget? Of course, on the left there, the row of what, like 6 mountains that are directly in a row and all exactly identical. That is my favorite mountain range.
Indeed. Oh, Morton, super chat from Morton. Let's see. It's always freaking aliens. They be just cruising in their damn spaceships, molesting cows and probing butts. It makes sense, no doubt.
And on the far right side, there's the new light rail line up the Atlantic.
Of course. All right. And Hill seems to have something to add.
Super chats.
I absolutely would have buzzed sooner, but I was too busy just laughing at how
Yes.
just patently absurd this is. My
Yep.
God, does this? It's like, first of all, it never occurs to him that this fort isn't on an island. It's just literally just sitting in the ocean, apparently what looks like a few miles offshore. Yeah, that's gonna do a real good job of protecting your harbor. And like, you may have noticed that like, there's never, as far as I'm aware, there's never been an actual fort that is shaped like that, because there's a Pentagon one, which has relatively flat walls facing outwards, so that anything that hits the wall will maybe deflect off a little bit. For this one's anything that if you shoot at the fort. If that was a fort and you shot at it, any shot would be directed inwards. Because the way the wall are sloping, any shot would be directed inwards towards the middle of the fort.
Quite true.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
like,
well, at that fort, all the weapons go pew pew pew, pew pew
Yeah.
pew.
This is actually Galaga. Fucking hell.
Actually, as a matter of fact, there were, I don't know if there still are in an active state, but there were, for example, during the Second World War, sea forts that, for example, protected some of the English channels. I think the one that actually leads into London, I think it is. There were forts a couple of miles off the shoreline to protect from air attacks.
Well, they're also a couple of miles in diameter.
Yeah, Not so much. No.
Dude, also, like, does it really not occur to him that this is just a thing on a map? Like, in the same way, like, if he saw, like, those, there's some map which have dolphins, he's like, oh my fucking god, there's a huge fucking dolphin in the ocean. Sorry, not fucking dolphin. Oh my god, you fucking idiot.
All right,
That's
fine.
me hitting myself. I meant to say unicorn.
Yeah, back then, it's too bad that the cartography, what are they called? The cartographists didn't
Cartographers.
think,
Like
didn't
cartographers.
think of writing the disclaimer of warning, objects may not appear as in reality or something to that effect. They probably should have done.
Like, is he literally...
Objects on map are smaller than they appear.
The objects on map are less real than they appear. Like, does it really not occur to him that that is just a thing? Like, does he really think there was a fort that is several miles across, out in the middle of the ocean, nowhere near a port, which just so happens to face in the cardinal directions and have huge fucking lines shooting out of it in every direction? Does it really not fucking occur to him that that is not a physical object?
Those are lasers.
You know, that makes me
Oh
want
my
to
god,
know.
it's a very advanced system.
Yeah, it makes me want to know if he addresses those, alternating solid and dotted lines there.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Like,
the,
oh no,
the,
he,
the, the
watch,
scout-
like, watch
the
out.
Boy
There's a huge,
Scout
like,
logo and the weird, RCS thruster-ish kind of shaped thing on the
I
star.
mean, honestly, it should
The
be
thing
more
looks like a
amazing that
giant
he hasn't
jack.
pointed out, apparently, that someone has taken the time to, in reality, write out the words part of Plymouth out there, just kind of in the middle of the land, just so, anyone looking at it from fucking space would be able to identify it.
Where the hell is Plymouth anyway? All right. Jen. Jen has been waiting quite a bit. Jen, what do you got?
This is a positional indicator. It is well known that aliens have been using undersea bases for strategic reasons for a long, long time. And this just shows the indication of where it is and the flight paths into it.
Hold on. Not just reasons, strategic reasons.
Of course.
This is pre-crop circle technology.
That's why they have the lines, so you can duplicate it.
Actually, those lines indicate different landing strips for when the aliens,
Exactly.
when they make their inevitable invasion, of course.
I just said that.
I am agreeing with you.
All right. RJ, what do you got?
Thank you.
Yes, well, I want to point out regarding, we were talking about the part of Plymouth, it's not the whole Plymouth. If you go out to the west, past the extremely orderly Pimple Mountains, on the side, you will find the part of Dodge and the part of DeSoto and the part of Chrysler and all of that. Just wanted to let you know.
Very good. Very good.
Like,
Alrighty.
Jokes aside,
Yes?
this is legitimately the most inept thing that I've seen, probably in the past month at least. I legitimately, I have not seen someone fuck up this in such a way that they're so fucking convinced of themselves. I have not seen that in
I told you it was 4.6 Jareds.
Like, this is. Thank you, Sai. Thank you. This is. Wow. Wow.
Doorknob wants to know how Plymouth Fury 3 got on the map. That's what I want to know.
Alrighty. And Bo, save us. What have you got?
Yeah, I would like you to direct your attention to two areas on this map.
Okay.
The first one is approximately center picture, slightly downwards, slightly to the left, above the what does it say? Harburger, Harburger or something, and then also under where it says I don't know, Point Alderaan, #not Star Wars. Are those star ships? Maybe this is the starport thing.
Yes, the starships go into the starport. Of course. Why did we not?
Where else would they go?
Or an extremely large set of infesting flies.
Man, I do
it's
not
the
want to
cicadas.
know how big they are, really.
It's actually a cicada brood. They've mistaken the mothership for one of their own.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember thinking it's under 15 minutes. How
This
bad?
was You're not silly.
Not
This
on
will be
this
a
show,
bag
it
of
isn't.
tail.
Sai, did you forget the types of videos we deal with?
Yeah, actually, after.
Oh, someone want to read Doorknob Head's comment?
Where else would a starship
Where
go?
else?
And
Our urinal.
obviously, they make the pass first through Uranus on the way to the
Actually,
starport.
where I live, one of the what do you call that? One of the nicknames that we sometimes use in a derogatory way for anus is star.
Aha.
That's just a different weird
we've come
level
full
of
circle.
ew. No, it's just a weird level of ew.
Yeah, okay. All right. And on that note, let's try to make some progress here. Maybe there won't be some stupid for a couple of minutes. We'll see. Here we go.
North, east, west, and south. So I don't know what's the connection between the star fort
We know
and the
you don't.
cardinal directions, but I think that there is. And here's another recommendation I would
my
like to have a look
fucking
at.
God.
And this
Please-
is a real
please let it
nice
also-
look at that.
okay, this one's an actual
This
fort,
is
at least. Like,
All right.
also, that's a,
Ooh, made by a Nephilim, 6 fingers.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a hexagon.
All right. Do we have some? Because like you realize we couldn't hear
Drink.
what this fine fellow was saying. Do we have something? All right, Tornado. What do you
Oh,
got?
That really matter? Do
Nah, I
we
guess.
really
I
need
know.
to
I
hear
want
him
to
at
know the
this point?
coordinate of that place.
All right.
Strike. That man was looking at a compass and said that it was a fortress. I don't fucking care if I miss 10 seconds of his godforsaken fucking speech.
All right.
But this
say
is
Bahamas
really
or
interesting. What
somewhere.
are you talking about?
Very good.
I'm just happy. I'm just so fucking happy that this second one is at least a real physical object.
Yeah, that is good.
God,
Gotta go,
God knows
close my
where it
windows.
is, but at least it's God. God, literally, only God knows where this is. But at least it's
Gotta agree
real.
with Hillel on this.
All right. Let us. We do have someone who actually did buzz in. Tornado. What do you got?
You know, this isn't actually a regular polygon, so it doesn't really have any bearing to do with whether or not it's a star fort or not. Because as far as I know, star forts are regular polygons, and this is an irregular polygon because two of the sides are longer, or two of the sides are shorter than the rest of the sides. So this is clearly not a star fort. This is clearly an Earth fort.
Tornado. I don't know about you, but I don't know why you're. I don't know why you're somehow, for some reason, prejudiced against irregularly sided polygons. That's pretty. That's pretty racist.
You shapist. All right.
There we go.
And Jared, what do you got?
I'm actually really curious about where this one is. Sai, since you have the best view of it, is there a name that you can make out on that image?
I'm looking.
Looks like Google.
I'm looking at the original, and no, they're all little pixelated.
Yeah.
That's in
He may
Florida.
mention it. He may mention it.
Yeah,
But,
Google on the bottom in the middle. I'm not sure what the thing to the right of it is.
Key
there are
West. That says Key West.
Key
Fort
West.
John
Oh, okay. I was not
Wait,
aware.
wait,
I
wait,
thought
where's-
it might be in the
hold on,
Caribbean
RJ.
because
That
of the
thing,
seawater.
that thing to the right of it, the thing to the right, that thing to the right of the Google symbol. I believe that's the person who's presenting the video, actually.
Oh no, well, no, slightly, not quite that far out, you little smart
It
ass.
looks to me like that. That looks to me like that somewhat resembles a human being. Although I can't be
Oh, I
certain
wouldn't go that
because
far.
it doesn't seem to have something in its fucking brain skull.
Wait, where does it say Key West?
I confirm that.
It's in the water. Key West, Port Jefferson.
Area.
Ah.
In any case, all I know is that clearly it's showing us its palm and it has 6 fingers.
All right.
So clearly, this
West
is one of
Port.
those. This is one of those Nephilim cannibal star forts, which is why actually, that actually perfectly explains why we don't have as many star forts as we used to, because the 6-fingered star Nephilim ones, they're cannibals, so they consumed the other star fortresses.
And they're known to make a frightening sound when they attack. It's that.
Got it. All
But
right.
yes, that does in fact read Key West Fort Jefferson.
Okay,
So
I
this
thought it
is
might
in
be in the
Florida.
Caribbean.
That's interesting. All right. Anyway, let's see. Jared, what do you got? Anything?
No, that's what
All
I'm
right.
trying to find it because I want to.
We might say it in a moment, but part of me doubts it.
Let's. Oh, look at that. Here we go. Key West, Fort Jefferson.
Fort Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, it does
Thank you.
Connections against Jefferson. Wow, it's almost like forts might be named after famous people.
Hey, Jefferson, the 6th president of the United States, a 6-sided fort. I don't. That seems like a coincidence. I think not.
Except he's the 3rd president.
Hush now.
Whoa, that one is way the
well.
frick out
RJ,
there.
what's 3 times 2? Huh?
Oh, well, there you go. If you're gonna start using science on us.
Yeah, RJ, all I have to say is shut your whore mouth.
Oh my!
And somebody else was wanted to insert a clip from Bond in Thunderball.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry, guys. This is just it's really taking it out of me. This guy is just too much.
Oh, ugly German truce! Ow!
What's
He said, if the last slide showed Port of Plymouth, shouldn't this one be Fort Jefferson Starship?
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let us move on quickly, and hopefully we can. Here we go.
Fort
I'm
Jefferson
too
has
out of it to
6
get it.
edges. It's a little bit asymmetrical. What's interesting about the Star Fort is that it's in the middle of nowhere. So look at this little island. It's called.
Stop it! Stop!
We have stopped.
Of course, opposed to the one he just showed us,
Which is
was,
more
of
than the
course,
middle of nowhere.
entirely surrounded by lines, I guess.
Indeed. All right.
Oh no! So here's the thing: him saying it's out in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't give him too much crap for, because it really is a long way off of actual Key West.
Interesting. All right. Well, they had to have some reason. You don't build something that big for no reason. So, let us. Lost control of the mouse. Here we go. Moving on.
Push key, I guess. And or maybe it's Fort Jefferson, I'm not sure. And if I zoom out, you will see that this is in the middle of nowhere. You know, like Dry Tortugas National Park. What is that even? I'm not sure.
Is that a dolphin
Still
shape?
zooming out.
Or a peat?
I'm not sure
No,
where
it doesn't.
we are
That thing
here.
right next to it,
There
right
we are.
there.
It's at the edge of Florida, in the Gulf of
called an
Mexico, in the
archipelago,
middle of
you
nowhere. Why would you need a star fort in the middle of nowhere, right? I mean,
Boats.
I don't understand. If you do understand that, then please let me know. But my guess
You
is
certainly
it
Hang
was
on,
probably-
pause it. I'm gonna pull up the actual construction date of it,
Okay.
Okay.
because I'm willing to bet it's gonna be in the 1700s or even older.
But well,
I don't
Walter-
take sucker bets. I don't take sucker bets, Jared.
All right. I
mean,
see.
They built it there because parking was such a hassle closer to the city.
Of course.
Copernicus thinker wants to know when he's going to get to Edgar Casey in Atlantis.
Coming soon. All right.
Construction. I was off by a little bit. 1824, 1825.
Almost during like the Civil War era.
It would have been right after United States glommed onto Florida as a state.
Construction finished in 1861. It was in service for only 8 years. Yeah, 8 years.
I see.
It's almost like technology made these types of forts obsolete.
And you know, they built it in the middle of nowhere because fake guy's great-great-grandfather was in the military at that time.
I see. All right. Hill, you got something here?
God, I had something while Jared was pulling that up. I can't remember it now.
Okay. Well, buzz again.
I'll let you know if it comes back to me. What were we
Alright.
talking about right before Jared went off? Oh, no, I remember now. His entire point was he's saying, why is this here? Why, out in the middle of nowhere? I don't understand. So yes, you don't understand. And you've taken I don't understand and are trying to make a narrative out of I don't understand. If you don't understand it, go understand it and then come make a video about it. Don't make a video just saying, what is that? What is that? 6 fingers? Fort in the middle of nowhere? I don't get it. Understand it, then come make a video. No one wants to watch you sit there and be confused. I mean, granted, it is hilarious because you're an idiot, but still, we're not learning anything from seeing you sit there and tell us you don't understand.
Because that much is obvious.
Yes, exactly. That's
Indeed.
superfluous.
All right. Well, let's have. I suspect there's going to be some more of
Oh,
that.
air! Wow, that island's ass is huge.
Fuck.
All right.
What the fuck?
Moving on.
Probably a high hill back then, you know, and I talked about this before, that we have about 30 feet or 10 meter extra water on the surface of the earth.
Oh my God! Read what Ugly German Truth says. What a beautiful idea!
And with that fabulous summary from Hillel, we should bring this to a close. Nothing new can come after this.
Oh, there's much more. There's much more.
There's more.
Is
All
there?
right.
Fuck.
All
Maybe we
right.
should just.
Let's run 5 minutes.
All right. Let's see.
How much time do we have left on this anyhow?
Also,
Too much.
5 minutes.
I mean, would even changing the sea level, changing that by putting that down by 10 meters, that's quite a bit, but it's not gonna. I mean, it'll give you a bit more coast to deal with, but it's not gonna do anything super significant, I don't think.
All right. Well, let's hit play and see what happens.
The big flood. And so under this, there could be lots of remainders of an ancient civilization. So it would be interesting to scuba dive
He
here.
goes with the coulda, shoulda, woulda crap again.
And there could be silt. I mean, what? All right.
Oh my god! So cold.
All right.
Yeah, there could be an ancient civilization there, or there could just be fucking silt. I don't know. So why are you making a video about it?
Well, I don't know means aliens, I think.
Well,
doesn't
there
it?
was
I don't
mention
know.
of,
Therefore, aliens. That's the
lost-
classic God/alien of the gaps argument.
Alien of the gaps argument. I like
I
it.
like
If you
that.
remember from the live
Oh, the
chat
aliens, they
earlier,
want
there
your
was several.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were several mentions
think
of
they use the
the
Alpha
lost city of Antarctica.
All right. And let's see. Hill, what do you got?
I mean, what he said just then is stupid. The main reason being, the whole point of these forts is that they're checking for people who are coming into ports. If you build one on a super high mountain, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be near the enemy who are coming to port. That's the whole point of why you build it at the coast, in a port, so you can shoot people who are bad if they come into port. If you're on a mountain, they're probably gonna, especially if you're gonna be so far away, you're not gonna be able to hit them with your guns. There's no point having just being on a tall mountain. Sure, you'll be able to see them, but you won't be able to attack them. Besides, isn't it so rather convenient that the sea level before was exactly 10 meters below where it is now, such that when it rose again, this fort is now magically and so coincidentally just at sea level instead of being slightly submerged. How very, very convenient that the sea chose to rise just enough that it wouldn't actually submerge the fort.
The designer Caribbean.
Oh yes, exactly.
All righty. Isn't this fun? Here we go.
Here, and I'm interested to look into this Dry Tortugas National Park. Not sure what this is. Like, who would be visiting this, okay? Why is it...
You're right. You're right. It's an endless succession of why. Why is this? I don't know.
I don't know
I don't know.
what this is. I have not looked at anything. I know of Wikipedia, but I have not tried to actually think about anything because I have an obelisk at my ass.
Yes, that was exactly what I was going to refer to. How long have we been listening to? I don't know. Did you remember the obelisk back in the beginning? There's an obelisk. What's that about? I don't know.
He literally could have just had the entire 15 minutes just be nothing on screen but a giant question mark.
Yeah, he could say, I don't know anything about anything, so you just fill in whatever you want because I don't know anything about it.
So it would seem. All right. Bo, what do you got?
An unintended buzz.
Oh, not
thing.
a problem. All right. Everybody just pretend.
I'm kind of flustered because I now have a water bed instead of a regular bed, and I'm also getting inundated with lightning.
Oh my!
Does your bed does it have little forts at the corners to stop intruders?
No, but maybe it'll get there. I mean, what are they called? Like, I never remember what they're called in English, but oh yeah, here we go. We're having
Elephant
converts
car
locally.
has wisdom.
I was like a park? What is this park you speak of? Is this a human thing where you do human things in a human area?
Well,
those stupid humans.
It's like he's never been introduced to anything that is not directly outside of the basement. Like windows at a certain level. Like what does that mean?
So he's
a park.
So he's probably
what is that? What is this? What is this weird star-looking symbol on this map? I will assume it is a fort. It's like he's literally never. It is literally like he has just not been outside.
Do you guys think that he's currently wearing an ankle brace? You know, one of those electronic ones.
Could very well be.
I doubt he's even wearing pants because I would doubt he has the ability.
Oh,
and that's something I do not want to know.
There's an image that'll stick with you.
Because he won't be able to operate Velcro straps, even. So, yeah.
All right, moving on.
National
So we might have
Park,
tearaway
if you
pants,
can't
what you're saying.
really visit it. Okay, what are they hiding here? What is here? There is nothing. Okay, according to the map, and there are no houses.
They're hiding dirt, apparently.
No airports.
No, they're
Okay,
hiding
so
the giant.
this is evidence. This is evidence. The fact that you see nothing means that they're hiding something.
What are they hiding in this park?
Well, hey, you should seriously try and get this guy to debate one of those dummies who are convinced of the. We've debated that video before, by the way. The giant dragon skeletons thing. Yeah, that guy. We should have him debate. Those two debate each other.
I'm not sure that they have anything to debate.
No, but I think it would be hilarious as hell.
But like, they probably just agree on everything. I mean,
I don't know.
Actually,
do you know? I don't know either.
I'm hoping that they will have identify the same places by using pareidolia, but have vastly different opinions on what it actually looks like.
Oh,
and they'll have great arguments.
I love how literally the only reason he's taking interest in this area is because it's called a national park. Like, if it didn't say the words national park, he may as well just be going over a random bit of ocean.
Yes, and again, not seeing anything means that there's something hidden. Got it. Alrighty.
For a bit of reality,
yes,
if I may.
Sure.
National park. Does that have to be land-based in the literal sense of the term national park, or just the word?
Apparently,
park
for him, it does.
In general.
Maybe if he holds in close enough, you'll see Ursula Andress chasing after a giant fire-spewing thing, and then James Bond shows up.
Wait, Ursula, like in the Little Mermaid?
Yeah, there you go. Might as well have to.
Wrong Ursula. All right, moving on. Here we go.
So that you can land here, or no
Although, that would be an
docks for
interesting
ships to
mashup
come
movie.
in. And yeah, this
Yes,
is
it
a
would.
national park. What's on this other island?
I don't know.
Still looks like part of the national park here.
Uh-huh.
And this is a lighthouse. Loggerhead Key. Again, who is living here? Just a lighthouse. It just doesn't make...
The lighthouse is living here.
How about the engineer that is
All right.
mending
First
said
off,
lighthouse?
yeah. Drake,
Well, remember, they don't have a lot to do because it's all light housekeeping.
Oh. All right. All right. Well, clearly he's right. I mean, no human being would put a lighthouse near the ocean like this.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
What kind of maniac?
He doesn't use a boat to get to it.
Indeed. All right. Here we go.
It's literally like
Sense
he's just
in the
not
middle.
been outside, and like certain concepts are just completely foreign to him.
You know, when you first...
What is this tall house that has a light at the top? Why construct a house in such a manner?
You know, it may be the vodka, but when you first mentioned that he's in the basement and he's never seen anything outside except for what goes by the window, the only thing that popped into my head was so he's very familiar with like ducks' feet as they walk past the window. And that's it.
Yes.
Anything else is beyond his abilities. All right, moving on.
Nowhere, in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, south of Florida.
All right. By the way, was that duck's feet thing only funny to me? I'm thinking.
I didn't get it at all, to be honest.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I figured. It's the
old man fun. Or
no. It's the Maui vodka. It's picturing ducks going past this window. My apologies.
Well, and I'll admit I've been looking more into the actual the actual national park and the fort itself, and it's interesting. It was actually it is the largest but yet unfinished brick masonry structure still standing in the United States.
I'm sorry, did you say masonry?
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Now, do you have to... Wait a minute. Do you have to pay... Do you have to... If you wanted to visit it, do you have to pay...
Yes.
Oh, yes.
because
All
the
right.
All
right.
The only way to get to it is by boat or seaplane.
Oh, all right. But I mean, if you were transported there by whatever means, once you're there, do you have to pay to visit that thing? It's taken
I'll
way,
let you know in a minute.
It's taken way too long for this joke. It was going to be Freemasonry.
Well, hey,
but
just
let it go. Just let it go.
It's
okay.
Does anyone know where this is? I want to look for it.
It's about 70 miles west of the end of Key West.
All right. Whoa! Shit. Lightning. Sorry.
Anywhere near Key Largo?
Something exciting. Bo described it.
Mango tree.
It is the westernmost point of Key West.
Interesting. All right, Jen. What would you like to add?
Does anybody hear a ringing sound? Apparently, Heat Shield does, and is blaming
And
us,
Sai-
and he's about to go crazy.
What am I?
Yeah, I explained it to Sai in a DM on Discord, but he probably
I haven't been hearing
off
anything.
of Reddit.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't hear anything
Almost 90% sure it is from
I don't hear anything.
Sai Strike.
I
Wasn't DM, sorry, but in the panel chat.
In the
Sai,
panel.
Are you ringing at them?
I don't think so. Let's see what the.
But it is coming from your microphone, Sai. I am 90%, not 95, because that's a different subject.
Here we go. Fees and passes.
See, I'm pretty sure I can hear Sai's computer in the background, but I don't hear any ringing.
I got no ringing here.
Think of a little bell. On
Okay.
in one of
I got
those,
it. Ringing.
Cat toys. Where
So
there's
yes,
a hole
so
in a
what
circle where you can-
exactly what note is it? Like, is it like an F sharp or maybe like a G? Like, what note is it
Sounds
ringing?
like an A.
Oh, an A? You think?
Well, it depends on which octave. But
All right, yeah, good idea, Copernicus Thinker. Quick test. Mute for 5 seconds. Here we go. Mutant. This will be a mutiny. All right, sorry.
Why don't you just stay on mute, Sai?
yeah, and we'll just talk because that will keep the microphones open. The feeds going, and no jingle.
All right, I'm back.
And now we can mute.
It's like the bell ringing and It's a Wonderful Life.
Finally, a bad noise that it's not my fault.
There you go. I have no idea what it is, and let's see. Let me take the headphones off and see if there's any sounds about that I don't hear.
Your equipment was having a fit listening to Smilin' Jack.
So apparently it's $15 per person and is good for 7 consecutive days for all persons over the age of 16.
Interesting. All right.
So if you're under 16,
So this is visiting the place where the secret things aren't.
Yes.
So wait, hold on. What I'm wondering, if you're under 16, do you not get in, or do you not pay?
Any persons under 16 years of age is exempt from paying an entrance fee.
So it's Freemason
So
as long as
pack
you're
up
under
your
16.
hundreds of children.
Oh, wait a
So
minute.
more or less, if you're a minor, then it's a Freemason facility.
But all right, so when I made the joke, it was dumb. When you make it, it's good. Is that what you're saying, Hill?
No, it's still your joke. Full credit.
All right.
Full marks.
All right.
Is there much mining going on there for that?
This is the peer review process. I'm taking your joke and I'm clarifying upon certain points. I'm expanding upon the knowledge.
Yeah, Jared.
My annotated version.
You might be interested in this bit.
Oh.
The nightly fee of $15 per camping site is collected through a self-service fee area that is located in the campground.
Ooh, that's their secret.
Okay.
But is it a distance of 33 from anything?
If you measure it in sparkle blorps, yeah, it will be.
All right. You know what we might want to do is try and get through this nonsense. So let us proceed. Here we go.
Yeah, let's.
I don't know what's I have no idea what's ringing. I hear nothing. I took the headphones off. I hear nothing ringing here.
Yeah, I don't hear anything from my end, so it's something that is only infesting people that are infested by it.
I guess.
Oh, by the way, Kitsune Cavalier sent me a message on Discord.
Uh-huh.
They wanted to, or she wanted to tell me Star forts were built because, with the invention of gunpowder, castles became obsolete.
Okay.
Yeah, more or less, because small bit of history here. So basically, because the whole point of a castle wall being thick is that you take a bunch of rocks and then you hit it with another rock. It doesn't really do too much because your rock is more rock. But with the invention of stuff like with guns, basically their rock doesn't need to be more rock than your rock because their rock has big kaboom. So. Yeah.
Are you doing this as the cartoon version or the crayon?
So what you're saying is that the rocks
Coloring
would
book
hit
version?
the rocks would hit the other rock and bounce off, roll away, and thereby inventing rock and roll.
Yeah.
More or less, yes.
Okay.
Got
thanks.
it. Got it. All right. Good. Good that we cleared that up. And here we go.
Yeah. And on this little island, there is one single lighthouse.
Because you need more.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it
Normally
really
they build
make
like
sense to you?
15 of them.
Because it doesn't to me. So I guess this shows that this was a peak
I
of
want a
the
fucking
old
fleet
Earth
of
before the
lighthouses.
reset. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Now, if we zoom out, I think it makes a little bit more sense. Can you see that? This was like a highland, and this is the lowland here. These mountains are going up, and yet
do you
it's
notice
already
the
under.
Oh my god!
I mean, he's
my
not
fucking
God.
god!
He's not technically wrong. I mean, he's kind of wrong, but he's not like. He could be more wrong. I think he's right that it does slope down there, but it's like.
Yes, but a slope does not a mountain make. In order to have a mountain, you need a peak.
Height.
Also, he hasn't. If he really wanted to even, if in order for that to even be consistent, he'd need to show that if you dropped the water level 10 meters, that would be above water. Like it's not just going to be above water just because yes, there's a feature that's underwater, but it could still be underwater even if you drop the level 10 meters. Like just because you drop the water level doesn't mean that every single terrain feature does. It means he's not getting rid of all the water.
Bo, the answer to your question is turtles.
But that doesn't make it better. What does turtles have to do with loggerhead?
Loggerhead is a type of turtle.
Yes.
It is turtles all the way down.
Yep, indeed.
All right. Tornado, what do you got to add?
String theory, it's more damn turtles.
My whole thing is that mountain stuff is, one, underwater, and two, part of an underwater shelf.
That works. Alrighty.
But does the underwater shelf have a drawer pull on it or not?
Probably IKEA.
Okay, who didn't see that coming?
And if you dig deep enough underneath the mud, you will find the gigantic Allen wrench.
All right.
What if we don't have Alan with us?
Then we see what. Then
we just have a wrench.
It says. Then we see what Jared has to say. Jared, what do you got?
I have to agree with Al from the chat. In his defense, it would be hard to make less sense.
Oh yeah, true. He's 4.6 gerunds. I didn't think it was possible, but this guy is hitting whole new elements of vacuity.
Wait, guys, look at the numbers. 30 and 3. We hit 33. I think we need to call it.
All right, that's something, but I don't know if that's calling it. Sorry, how much is left actually?
Oh, we only have. Let's see. We are at. Oh, we're at 10:45. Oh, we should be able to nail this in hours.
Phil Holland has a laser-guided trebuchet. I'm jealous.
That would be handy, wouldn't it? All right. So, there was talk of being tired of this nonsense, I believe.
I mean, you sure you don't want to just
No.
You want to just like
midnight here.
Personally, I'd prefer to try to get through the last 5 minutes as quickly as possible.
All
I mean,
right.
honestly, because part of me, I mean, sure, this is painful, but this is the best pain I've felt in years.
All right, let's just let it play, and we'll point and laugh.
All right, that works. That works. And
I suppose the only thing would be let's point and laugh, but let's try not to. Because if we overtalk him, we can't laugh at him as much.
That's true.
So
We actually have to hear what he has to say.
More laughing, less talking.
Okay, that works. All right, well, we will try that. And all right, so we're just gonna let it sail. And I was gonna say, and if there's some major stupid, then call drink if need be. But from the amount of times I've done that before. Does anyone see Galaxy Quest? The quote, the quote. Did you even watch the show? Comes to mind.
Yeah.
All right.
That seems very appropriate.
Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Diana has something to add. Diana, what do you got?
Yeah, just to pick up on what Tornado had said earlier. This guy's talking about highlands and lowlands. He's never heard of a continental shelf, has he?
Apparently not.
Jesus, what is wrong with you?
He apparently hasn't heard of Google, which would be his friend, to answer the vast majority of his, well, I don't know what this is.
So it must be.
I, Mr. Joe Schmo lay public, apparently know more about geology than this fucktard does.
You know what? I'm wondering, does that whole highland, lowland qualify for a what the fuck did I just hear?
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Oh,
Bo
absolutely.
was breaking into the lumberjack song in the live chat.
Hey, actually, Sai, so if we are going to go through with this plan and not talk, and I would ask a favor of you, and that is, every time there is a point for which you feel that we would call drink, if you would add
Just
a
increment.
mark, if you would add a mark on the drink counter, even though, because we all know what the point is, it doesn't need to be said, but it'd be
All
nice
right.
to keep the tally running.
All right, I would be more than happy to do that. Here we go.
The water. And this was a peak here. Next up, I'm going to look at an asylum from Kirkbride. And if you remember,
Asylum?
I looked
Did you say
at an
asylum?
asylum
What
before
the hell?
in one of my
Yes.
America video series. And I
that's
mentioned
what
in
he's
that
running
episode
for.
that asylum created a boom for the whole city. And I was also suggesting that probably they
pause.
were putting
Oh,
people
okay.
there who were actually sane to
Okay, we have
Guys,
pause.
we had a plan. It lasted like 20 seconds.
Yes.
Hey, this is merely a clarification thing.
Okay.
What did he say there?
So,
I think he said this is the asylum created. I think he said a boom.
yes,
And
creative
maybe
move
it's
for the
an
town.
accident.
Then they started putting
If
people
that- if
in
that's
it.
Yeah, if that's the case, I wonder if he's talking about a boom as in explosion or boom as in
Economic
boom.
Yes.
Oh, does it make any difference with this guy?
Yeah, and
Like, a lot of people are like, oh man, that a lot of towns we've been to, they have a bunch of crazy people running all over the streets.
yeah, and he also
This
said,
town,
let's
here they
not
locking
forget.
them up where they should be. Let's all move there.
Just before we did the pause, don't forget he said that did they put not crazy people there? I'm sure it's going to be followed by an I don't know as soon as we hit play. But
He should know. He's probably been there.
it could be. All right, and
those are energy towers.
of course they are. And
All right, so guys, please let's remember the actual plan,
Well,
whereby we laugh and try not to overtalk too much, and Sai counts up the thing, and we have a good time and try to do better than 20 seconds.
tell you what, actually, you got, and anyone may catch it. Feel free to yell drink, but we will not stop. How's that? If we actually have to stop, yell stop. But feel free to yell drink when necessary. RJ, you are buzzed in. Do you have something to add?
Air calls this picture the Disney Asylum.
That's
All right.
actually.
Here we go. Let's try the plan again.
reprogram them after the reset, because probably there were some people who didn't like the reset and they weren't the usual sheeple and they wanted to speak out, so they probably just dragged them and put them in an asylum. So here is the video from the proper people. They went inside the Kirkbride asylum, and apparently this was built in 1850, and I'm going to show you a couple of clips from this video. First of all, why would they leave everything behind just like that? Usually when people move out, they
abandoned
clear
comes
it
to
after
mind.
them, but it seems like it was just an ad hoc move, and they left everything behind in chaos. Look, even the curtains are up, and of course we can see mud-flood windows underground, and also a dome. Here's another bummer. They just left this wheelbed just outside of the asylum.
Oh,
you know,
oh
like
no,
they
I
really
don't think
didn't
it was them
care.
who left
And
it
they
out
left
there.
the
I think it was
toilets
a
there.
jackass
Here's
who went
another
and
interesting
grabbed
one.
it.
They just left this board there. Continuity of care. And on the board we can see discharge planning and community contact and church. What were they playing with here? Then they found this ancient tech, and they didn't know what this is. I don't know what this is. So if you do
It's
know,
a
please
way
let
to
me know in the
computer.
comments below. What the fuck is this? And they left the clothes behind in boxes? Why did they hurry so much? And again, the old fireplace looking, not fireplace. We don't know really what it is for, but you can't see any chimney here.
Decoration,
So it makes
because
sense
it
that
used to be a
they would
fireplace, but now
build
it's not.
a fireplace
That's
from
real
wood,
weird.
and I don't see really an entry here for it.
Is that because
renovations happen?
Is that because they finally figured out? Is that because they finally figured out why the insane kept catching on fire?
Yeah.
I hate when the insane
People
catch
who
on fire.
need people are
When
the
they're
craziest
insane and on
people
fire.
in the
All
world.
right. All right.
It's almost like they figured out, hey, we have mentally unstable people here. Let's not have them near an open flame.
Yes, running through the halls with flaming logs was not. It's kind of
Why do I expect to see the dormouse show up with a teapot?
All right, here we go again, and we are making progress this way. This is good.
Wood either, so it could be some kind of free energy device. We don't really know.
Oh my God.
The straps that they were binding the truthers with after the set. Now here's a very interesting one. They left here this book by Neil Postman.
Tornado has buzzed. Tornado has buzzed. What have you to say?
Free energy, aside from the fact that that would violate the laws of thermodynamics in every way possible.
Aha.
Yeah, seems
and
legit.
while we're stopped, it may just be nice to mention that. Oh yes, this free energy device, which for some reason looks like the remnants of a chimney. You know, just because you're going to build a free energy device, may as well look
Why
at
not?
may as
And
well
have a
build it
bad
as
paint job.
exactly. May as well build it as a chimney facade, as it were.
Of course.
Why not?
Wait, at least he didn't say what are they hiding there.
Finding out, right?
Of course.
Yeah, don't bother how it works or anything. It's just a free energy device that, for some reason, just looks like the facade of a chimney. Because you might as well do that if you're building a free energy
that way
device.
they trick you.
All right, and
the book in this shot is very interesting to me as a Pink Floyd and Roger Waters fan.
Uh-huh.
His album in the early '90s was Amused to Death, and if you'll notice the title of this book, it's Amusing Ourselves to Death. I think
what we're doing in this show.
Coincidence here.
How did I not know about that album? That's weird. All right.
Oh, you gotta get that album.
Okay.
It's great.
All right. Yeah.
And now, onward with the plan.
Okay, on
This
with
is
the
working
plan.
Fabulously.
Yes, the plan. Here we go.
Amusing ourselves to death. Public discourse in the age of show business. And you can see here the people without head. That's what it is. People programmed to look at the television, they sit down and they lose their head. It's a death programming. You lose your mind,
So
and most
why
of
are
the
you-
people
hang
who
on,
follow
drink,
the news,
drink.
they
All right.
Ding, 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 buzz, buzz.
Okay.
So, with that being the case,
yes,
and with streaming platforms being the new replacement for television, what are you doing here feeding into it?
Ah, damn good question.
The point I want to draw out here is that one of the themes of the Amused to Death album is the media and television and how we have become robots to watching it. I think that what he's getting at here is he's going to bring Roger out of the closet as a Nephilim.
Ah, okay. We shall see. All right.
Actually, now that we mention it, I can't
Yes.
see any. These people are not showing their palms.
Oh, good point. Good point. All right, Tornado, what do you got?
So apparently, media now is a means of brainwashing everyone, is what he's saying.
Have you watched Fox News?
Oy vey. It's like everything that doesn't make sense to them is, it's all them trying to brainwash you because reasons.
Well, you get that album and listen to it.
Visual media has actually been a propaganda tool pretty much since its inception.
All right. RJ, what do you got?
That's why, of course,
brainwashing.
This is
why, of course,
personal
he's
question.
making YouTube videos.
This is a personal question, Si. Was the reference to the plan a reference to Peter de Vries in Dune?
You know, if anybody was going to catch that, if anybody was going to catch that, that would be you. My plan.
Thank you. I thought that was.
I was hoping none of you would notice, but it was actually referring to the Schlieffen plan.
Oh, That's the von Schlieffen plan. You know.
Oh yes,
it's
of course.
very
My
difficult
mistake.
when you have that many
My
millions
mistake. Of
on
course.
the border.
All
It
right.
doesn't work very well.
Now, the plan has actually made a hell of a lot of progress. We are now within a minute and a half from the end. So let us continue. Let's continue with the plan since it seems to be working swimmingly. Here we go.
Copyright LLC.
They are brainless. They are headless. They created TV for programming. There's nothing good about TV. But why would they leave this book here? And why was it in the asylum? They left the bed sheets behind, all the furniture, and...
What? Yeah, Tornado, what do you got?
There's the guy who's currently making videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
which is a reference to the old cathode ray tube TV. So basically, YouTube is part of the conspiracy now, is what I'm saying.
Kinda. Okay, that works. Here we go, moving on.
Because then you would not die.
Or not.
But again, here, think about this. TV.
Yes.
For TV, programming is heavily used. In fact, that's
It's kind of required.
Yeah. So it's not it's not totally wrong.
They tried to have all the channels on with nothing on them, but people kind of got bored.
Indeed. They stopped buying the damn things. All right, here we go.
And so the asylum, look at that building, another Tartarian architecture.
Look at that building.
With the usual Greco-Roman
Look at that building.
colonial pillars.
Absolute
So we
unit.
already established that the
There's your
asylums
proof.
were probably some sort of reprogramming institutions for people after the reset who were questioning too many things or wanted to speak up. And it just occurred to me, what if this prison under the dome, this
Hold
flat
on.
earth, where
All right, what do you got, Tornado?
Did he just mention the reset being part of the conspiracy?
Yes. Yeah.
Despite not knowing what the fuck the reset is? What the fuck is the reset?
Failure
And how
to
the
define
fuck do you
terms.
know about it? Source.
Didn't we cover Tornado should go easy on the fucks? Did I cover that earlier?
Yeah.
Or I'll do it again.
Terrible influence on the poor
He
lad.
was such a nice guy. When he,
He was teaching
You know what,
Now
David?
he is a festooning pile of filth.
Just blame Doorknob Head.
there you
Blame
go.
him.
That
Yeah,
works.
okay.
Doorknob Head.
All right, we're closing in on it. We have mere seconds of stupidity left. Here it comes.
Oh, thank God.
Oh
Say
wait,
that, but we all know where we'll be next week.
yeah, that's true. And I forgot to augment the counter.
I won't.
Oh, sneaky bastard. All right, here we go.
where we are living is also just an asylum for reprogramming people. What do you think? Let me know at the comments below. Okay, so that's it for me for today.
That's
Support
it.
me if you can, because this channel is completely community supported. Avoid the asylums, guys. See you in the next one.
Avoid the asylums. All right, very good.
Oh my!
Well,
was
avoid
not
the asylum.
that fabulous.
Of course, unlike the person who went in to take all these photographs inside the asylum, don't be like them.
Yeah, and all right. Well, that was yeah. Okay. And
That was a thing.
yeah, yeah. And Jen, is there an apology forthcoming for?
Well, no. I'm proud to know that I've been able to further your guys' education and awareness of what really is going on in the world.
All right, all right. Well, that's good, I suppose.
Yeah, I would not have had such an extensive tour of places I don't want to visit in the Keys, and also a really good idea of how not to design an asylum.
All right. Well, very good. All right. Well, that was it. I would suggest we not go into another video, and
Very good idea.
Hey,
yeah, and perhaps we should move on with the plug and pug section. That being the case, anyone?
Si, did
Yes.
you want me to find another video for the list?
Sure. For right now, actually, for one right now. Anyway,
Oh,
all right.
No.
all I'm
Anyway,
saying is, guys, good luck with that, because if you do that, I am not gonna be here for that.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too. I'll just leave it on autopilot.
Just
gotta-
make sure that it'll be for next Fridays, because I'll be doing some stuff.
Stuff. All right.
It's so generous. That's so kind of you,
Nothing.
though. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Seeing as we've reached the end of the stupid at this point, anyone who wishes to say anything about what they're doing on or off the internet, please buzz now, and we will go down the list. All righty. Starting at the top, we have Tornado. Tornado, tell us how cool you are and what you do, please.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tornado Pelt. I am known as Tornado in a Junkyard because, well, I chose that name to piss off Ray Comfort. If he ever visits my channel and decides to make a video on me, then I will consider myself the epitome of Ray Comfort debunking stupid. It's like, this kid named myself after my own argument. How? Why? Aside from that, I like to do debunking here on Sci-Strike's Movie Night, and I also hope to get around to getting to that climate science thing and explaining in excruciating detail why and how he's wrong. I also like to play space games because, well, space games. Who doesn't like space games? Chisholm. And some of the games I have are Kerbal, Empyrean. I played Space Engineers. I played StarMate. Basically, I have a lot of spaceship building games, and I am proud of it. Next person on the list, please.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much. And going down the list, we have Diana Lavender Lady. Please tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Diana Clarion, the Lavender Lady, and how the hell are you? I have a wonderful little talk show on Sundays, noon Eastern, called Coffee with Lavender. And I have guests from all four corners of the world. And don't let Jaronism hear that I said that. And we talk about wonderful things, and we have all kinds of fun, and we have even funner after shows. Those are really, and then we have a kitty here who wants attention. Yes, we do. This week coming up, I am putting the Lavender Studio back together after Google pretty much torpedoed me with Google Hangout, which is the way I was getting out on the air. So I'm making sure that things are working again. And as part of that, I am going to have, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be something that doesn't happen every day. Our very own Purple Rise and Orange will be with us on Sunday. And it will basically be an open chat and talking about this, that, the other, and a few miscellaneous things. Let's put it that way. And I hope...
I have a question for you.
Yes, dear.
How would I go about getting on one of those?
I think you just...
Okay, you have already taken the first step. You have proclaimed your interest. And then the next step is that we get together and figure out when you've got it in your schedule to come on. And that
What schedule?
All right, so Diana, we're going by your schedule then, Diana.
Yeah, and I don't have one. I don't have one either as far as that goes. It's basically what I do with my time is pet the cat and pet the cat. Pet the cat. And I won't even say the other way to say that, but can I tell you?
Kitty? Kitty is a nasty word?
Probably already thinking something, and you don't want to know what I'm thinking.
Yeah, do I have your particulars, Tornado? Your
Facebook thing?
Facebook or your Twitter or
I have Discord.
Discord. Okay, I may actually be a member of your Discord if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get hold of you through that. We can work something out there when you've got free time and come on, and we can have you all decide what we want to talk about, and we'll go from there. How's that sound? I guess that sounds good.
Sounds like you guys got a plan. Cool, excellent.
Hey, I like it. And thank you everybody for coming on by. Let me tell you where to go and what to do when you get there. My channel is The Lavender Lady on YouTube. And okay, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.
Well, thank you. And I would like to just once again say I was once honored by being on your show.
Yay! I was the one who was honored, my dear.
That was a lot of fun. All
I may
right.
have to pull you on again one of these days. especially after you get to, let's say, Kennedy or to Wallops or something on that effect.
Or the Creation Museum.
Yeah, that's okay. Wait a minute, Si. Get a hold of me. Tell me when you're going down there. Go work
Phrasing.
something out.
Phrasing. All right.
That just came out of me.
Yes, it did.
Phrasing.
No, phrasing. All right. And
Oh, yeah.
thank you, Diana. And moving down the list, we have the Angry Eagle. Jared, tell us how cool you are and what you do, please.
So, for those who are unaware and uninitiated, I am the purveyor of AT2 Productions and AT2 Moto, which, thankfully, I am finally getting back to making videos for that channel because holy shit, the craziness that I've been dealing with away from the computer has finally died down. And with that, I'm actually... I wasn't happy with some of the footage I got earlier tonight, so actually here in about 4 hours, I am going to go out and redo some of the footage because there will be less stupid people on the road in front of me. Yay!
Excellent.
You think?
Hey, Jared,
right.
speaking of going out and I think you alluded to filming things or anything like that. You planning on doing anything with the meteor shower?
Probably not because it's so sunrise is in like 2 hours. So, so when I go out to film, I'm actually out on the motorcycle riding, filming type stuff.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you. And one more on the list. RJ, tell us how cool you are and what you do, please.
Oh gosh, well I'm the Creationist Slayer. I would like to thank you enormously for helping out to get me back on the air after the panic of YouTube. And also, I understand from Diane that you received some packages in the mail recently.
I most certainly did, dear. And I am going to have a whole bunch of fun reading ahead of me. I've already started on Evolution Slam Dunk. And I will go through it many times over, let's put it that way, because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything.
Yeah, Jackson Weed and I are still busy beavers on the new Rocks Were There book, where we're going to do to Answers in Genesis what I did solo to the Reptile Mammal Transition in Creationists. And then the next one in line, Jackson said that we should write a book on atheism and the origins of religion together. And I think, ooh, that's going to be a good one. So I am a busy little beaver for projects for the next few years.
Oh, my.
Sweetness, just for the heck of it, when is the Rocks Were There slated to come out? Or
Well, we're hoping to get that out by the end of the year, and I want to do the same thing with the second Paralogs novel.
Alrighty then, everybody take note. And
Perfect Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
Get those
absolutely.
out, yeah.
See how we work that out?
Indeed. That was pretty
I put the
good.
links up to both of my books directly from the Amazon links. You can also get them from Barnes & Noble. You can get them for ebooks. There's a bunch of different formats that you can deal with. I think they're darn good books.
Well, I mean, so far I am not, what's the word? I am not disagreeing with you. I mean, I'm still in the first chapter of Evolution, but
well, there's a lot of stuff in there. I wrote the Slam Dunk to be both suitable for people who know nothing at all about the creation evolution issue, but they'll know a hell of a lot about it after they're done. But also even for people who are technically minded and at college level, it's not talking down. It's a pile of information so that you can draw on that and do everything you can. Oh, Morton says he's halfway through Paralogs. I hope you are enjoying it.
and one of the really, really, really great things about Evolution Slam Dunk is toward the back of the book, that 100 pages of citations.
Yeah,
100 pages of citations. Jeez.
The reference bibliography is 2,300 sources, and in small print takes 100 pages.
Yeah.
It's shall we say well documented.
Yes, indeed it is.
Fairly thorough, I would say.
And it's funny too. I mean, I try to use humor at so it's not written in a purely dry technical style and all that. It's also got some little punch to it, and you discover just when you think creationists can't possibly get any stupider. Oh, let's check out the next chapter.
RJ, will there be any Codswallop in there?
Oh,
Or
there is
Codswallop,
Codswallop. There's Megapiffle. There's a whole bunch of things going on in that, and even more so in the new Rocks Were There book. We're going to be pulling out stops that no one has pulled out before, and an awful lot of people who have not been properly criticized, even online, of Sanford and some of these other ones. So it's going to be ratcheting up the game. Between the two of us, we're a great moving target. I think Jackson would agree that either of us could write very good work, but together we're really better than the two of us separate. So I think it's going to be delicious.
Do I get the impression, honey, that there is going to be a very long period of fruitful work from you and Jackson?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is just marvelous stuff to go on, and the more collaborations and things that can come up, the better. I think that he has a particular perspective that I don't have, and I have a perspective he doesn't. So in between the two of them, we ratchet up to a new level. And I'm absolutely delighted. I was extremely proud of Evolution Slam Dunk, but I think as hitting the ground on so many different levels, I think Rocks is even better.
I can't wait. And I'm not even finished with Evolution yet.
Filled with anticipation.
Morton brings up that he listened to Around the World in 80 Days and From the Earth to the Moon, his audiobook, just to compare. You hit the nail on the head. That I take great liberties from the Earth to the Moon, but literally, you will never need to read Around the World in 80 Days if you read Paralogs of Fog, because I embedded the entire plot carefully in the story, but yet nothing means what you thought it did by the time I'm through with it.
Well, sorry to tell you, RJ, but I did read it 50 years ago.
Oh, that'll be fun for you to compare it, and there may be things where you go, gosh, was that in the original book? Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting when I do that, because I've forgotten a few of the details in the
every single bit of itinerary is identical, so that every place that Fogg goes to, the times he arrives, what he does, and how long he spends while he's there, unchanged. And then there are incidents. It's not much of a telegraph because you'll be encountering it fairly soon when they get to India. But the commotion in the temple that figures in my novel so importantly is in the original Verne novel.
Okay, then.
Yeah. So there's and then keep an eye out when you get to Chicago. Which one of the boxes has something in it?
Spoilers.
Well, I don't know if I want to keep an eye out, because they do a better job in my face.
Oh, that's good. Well, yeah. Don't detach any of your body parts or organs. I strongly recommend that.
Okay.
Okay, so there's my shameless plug, and someone already put my website and stuff on that. But yeah, I'm a struggling writer who's very proud of his work, and I don't feel that anybody who's ever got my work has been disappointed.
I would agree with that. Yes?
Yay.
There was an exclamation. Is there anything following an exclamation?
There was the note of assent, the note of agreement there, and it was a very much yay.
Oh, okay. I thought you had something to add as well.
I got a spoiler alert here. Morton Nielsen said, "I wonder if Barbicane is still in orbit. Do we have any confirmation on that?" Not in my version, but a future book in the Paralogue series, Mr. Barbicane will actually get to visit the moon.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. And he gets there in a most unusual vehicle, which does not even act as a glimmer in the eye of Phileas Fogg as of the moment.
Aha. All right. Have something to look forward to then.
It better be a bathtub.
All right.
No, but it is quite extraordinary and has an interior parking too.
Well, that's handy. All right. Well, very good. Well, thank you, RJ. And let us, one more on the list. Hill, tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Well, I'm pretty sure most people in the audience know who I am, but if not, hello, I'm me. I stop by occasionally at movie nights to, God, what do I even do here? What am I doing with my life? God. So yeah, that's me. Mr. Existential Crisis. What do I have for future stuff planned? I guess currently I'm. If any of you are familiar with Red's Rhetoric, he uploaded some footage about a month ago of something called the Orion capsule abort test, and currently I am working on a project to pin down the exact location of where the capsule landed out at sea. So I'm working on that at the moment. It's mainly involved some spreadsheets and a lot of image analysis, but I'm coming very close to getting my exact answer. And then once I've done that, I will have successfully well, I'll have that, and then I'll have to find some other strange project to obsess myself with. And then after that, I suppose I really should finish. I have a if you like a different YouTuber who I'm plugging now, Sly Sparkane.
Mhm.
If he did his he proposed and partially tested an experiment which he set up way back, and then Phuket Word, if any of you are familiar with him, he made some rather stupid and outlandish claims regarding it, and I wanted to. It's sometime in the future. There's no guarantee of when this will happen, but I will make a video addressing these silly claims with some evidence of my own. And aside from that, I guess the only other thing I have to plug is that, again, Sly is having a chat with Mike Cavanaugh of FE Core fame sometime tomorrow. I forget the exact. It's on Sly's channel, but and that should be very interesting. So I encourage you all, if possible, to go over and take a look at that. Let me see. I would plug my Twitter, but I barely ever look at it. So I guess I'll talk with Sly and have him put that down there anyway.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you. All righty.
Sorry, I'm a bit rambly. God, that was a mess.
Well, we all watch the same video. We understand. Do not worry about it. All right. And all right. And Jen, after your apology for this video, please tell us how cool you are and what you do.
Well, after this video, I guess I'm just not very cool, and I probably should resign. I'm sorry.
Not at all. Not at all.
No, you're not. Stop
Dead to us. Never come back here.
I've had to pull back a little bit on some of my plans for getting a channel going. I visited Mayo Clinic this week, and they've made some other plans for me for the rest of this month. I'm not sure which days I will and will not be around at this point.
What's wrong?
But we got things that we need to approach.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they surprised me with a bunch of things they found that I didn't even go there for. The only test results I got back is that they said don't fall down because your bone density is at dangerously fragile. And I guess I'm going to have to get a bunch of IV stuff and some therapies and
Well, the Mayo
chemicals and
has
stuff.
a crackerjack team of experts there, so
Indeed.
you are in great hands.
Yep, it's an impressive place actually.
Yes, it is. It is definitely not a Miracle Whip clinic.
No, it's not. It's definitely Mayo all the way.
All the way.
Fresh eggs too.
They also have water.
All
I
right.
didn't have any of their water, but I did have a lot of fun with their parking valets. If you want to hear a short story.
Oh yes, by all
They're,
means.
they're what now?
My current driving machine is a 1996 BMW 318, bottom of the line. It's 23 years old, couple 100,000 on it. It has an anti-theft system. It's called EWS2, and this particular generation, as it ages, can develop a fault where if it gets too warm, it stops working and your car won't start. So I give my car to the valets, and it would not start for them. I was already gone, so I did not know this was occurring. It's an off and on problem. Sometimes it doesn't occur.
I see.
So I come out after getting poked and prodded, and they explained to me how my car wouldn't start, and they had to push it a block to the parking structure and put it in there, and they tried to jump start it, and it just wouldn't go. Well, I know that this is an issue, and that if you wait 15 to 45 minutes for it to cool down, it will start. But I was in a mood, and so I decided to have some brain fuck with time with them. So I pulled out my cell phone in front of the guy, and I pretended like I was calling and talking with the car, and I explained to the car, look, I know you don't know these people, but they're bringing you to me so that we can go home. So please start for them, would you? And I faked this conversation, and then told them that she said she'd start for you now if you go and give her a try.
Try it again.
And of course I knew it would, and it did, and they came back looking at me very strangely. And I got in the car and drove home.
That's
You did that just to fuck with them, didn't you?
And
Absolutely, I did.
very likely
What did
they
you
went
call
home
the
and
car?
told a similar story.
I would imagine. All right. Well. All right. Well, of course, best of luck, and I do like the car story. All right.
Yes, that is sublime.
Indeed. Anyway, all right, and last call for anyone that wishes to say anything about themselves. Seeing none, I believe we know what time it is.
Jenkins.
I do stuff and things. There we go. All right. I believe it's time to bring on the pug. Is it not?
Bring on the pug. Bring on the
Off we go.
Pug.
Very good. Off we go.
Hey, look at that.
This was not the longest movie night, but it seemed like it, didn't it?
Oh my lord! Yeah, interminable.
It felt like because of the way he didn't transition, it just felt like you were watching a bunch of smaller videos of nonsense, and they compiled them all together. Like legitimately,
They go
cut these up into individual segments. You couldn't tell.
And then a new pile of stupid comes in.
Yes, but so we had a variety, but it was all the same. How can that be?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
different
I know
topics,
this is.
but it's just applying the same ignorance to a host of different topics.
It's one mishmash of other nonsense, but I may just have found a somewhat related YouTube channel to the type of nonsense that we were speaking to this one. Maybe we'll go through it one day. For the panel members, I put it in the info. It is. It really is. Yeah.
that thing got Sidestrike. No offense to you, but his video got so boring at one point that I literally got out a pen and paper and did a mathematical proof, like a full mathematical proof here on this piece of paper. Because this video is just so fucking boring.
Which one was that from us last
The only type of science that can actually prove.
Yeah, it's because basically fun fact, if you have any 2 points on a parabola and you draw a line through them, the coordinates for the y-axis, the coordinates on the y-axis when you draw a line between the 2 points, the y value is the 2 points on the sides multiplied together.
Oh.
So if you pick a point, so if you pick two x values, a and b, and you draw them on a parabola, and you connect them with a line, and you look at the y-intercept, the y-intercept is a times b.
Okay, so I take it that's the parabola in pretty much standard form, like the y squared.
Nothing. Yeah, this regular bog standard parabola. Good old x squared.
All right. Good night, all. Thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all soon.
Good night.
The